Welcome back to Blueprints. I'm Akanar, and this is day 45. Let's get to it. We had yet another really fun draft. When do we ever not have a fun draft? I suppose when we find that there's a foundation that's mucking up our plans in the outer room. But other than that rare exception, every day at the estate is so much fun. And last time was definitely no exception. We learned that Simon is actually a prince. He is actually the Blue Prince. We're not just, inheriting a massive estate. It's there is some court intrigue, some palace intrigue that has made our story so much more fascinating and made me so much more anxious to discover more to that story. So, in lieu of that, or in furtherance of that goal, we have to get our hands on some gold. We need 400 gold, apparently, in order to buy some really expensive luxury tents. And hopefully those are going to get us some blue memos. But we got to get some gold. But we do have a plan to do that. We have a lucky coin purse that is stashed away in a coat check. I don't remember what room is the coat check. What room is the coat check, actually? It is, it's actually in the later rooms. There it is. We have a lucky coin purse stashed away. We got to get a lucky coin purse. And then I think I've been thinking about the best way to go about doing this, because we now have, checking our status screen here, we have the banner of the king, and we get to choose a color. I presume we can only choose once per day, but I actually don't know if I tried to click a different color. That would be pretty OP if you could just on the fly adjust what color, but I'm assuming they're only going to let you click this once per day. And I've been thinking about what would be the best color to choose in order to help us get 400 gold. We do have a knight's shield and a morning star, which may or may not change things. A morning star is nice to open up a trunk, and if we did get the shrine offered in the outer room, that would allow us to presumably knock off the lock on the cursed coffers. And that was the other big event of day 44, was figuring out getting the antechamber in the outer room, and then a mysterious clue about cursed coffers that I don't exactly know what to make of. Other than that, it seems like the game probably wants us to open the cursed coffers, although it really warned us not to when we were there last time. I am also looking at the description of the shrine, and I'm noticing something. The word stone is present here. The word stone is present. We're going on a little tangent here. We're going on a little bit of a tangent here real quick, because I have to think about something. Let me pull up my notes to the right spot. Where did I put this? It would be in... I had to add a room to our list of... rooms. We have our 8 outer rooms, but actually we now have a 9th outer room that's relevant to us, the antechamber. I had to find a new place in my Google Docs to store this note from last time. Deadly is the stone. Deadly is the stone. His stone hands present forth a stone bowl to the devout pilgrim who may wish to make an offering of gold. Steady is the scepter, deadly is the stone, heavy is the crown, ready is the throne. The actual description of the shrine has the word stone in it twice. I only draw importance from this, we had clues like this for the gallery. We had several rooms that actually had relevant words within their room description that were helpful to us. And so I'm wondering now, do I need to be looking through other room descriptions to find similar words? Similar words that we have seen on that poem? Now, the throne room, it just has the word throne in the name. There's not much more to see there, apparently, because the description doesn't have I wondered if the description had scepter in it. Could there be a room that has scepter in its description somewhere? I don't remember reading scepter in any room description, but it could be worth going through in a little bit more exhaustive fashion to make sure of that. Now, we know that there is a crown in the closed exhibit. It's a paper crown. I doubt that it's relevant to, you know, solving, like, I don't know, the castle puzzle or one of our big mysteries. The stone scepter crown throne. I don't think the red crown, the paper crown in the closed exhibit is going to help us with that. Huh. I'm going to have to note that one away, because it might be worthwhile going through these room descriptions in a little bit more of an extensive fashion, possibly. But then where does that leave us in terms of, we might want to get our hands on a shrine, but we might also, if we're going to be going for 400 gold, the tomb seems like a really good room to help with that. There's actually 2 really good black print rooms. The tomb is one, and then, of course, the treasure trove. It feels like if you're going to get 400 gold in one single day, these 2 are must-haves, especially when we don't have a sweepstakes to rely on anymore. But at the same time, we don't necessarily have to get all 400 gold in the same day, because we do have a freezer. And who knows, even if you get 400 gold in the same day, you might not be able to actually draft the gift shop at the same time. So let's just go ahead and we'll... the freezer might be part of our plans to get blue tents one way or the other, but I think we're going to try choosing black and try to get a tomb out in the outer room. I would like to think that this just guarantees... I'm going to go ahead and choose black. Black prints are more likely to be drawn today. And sure enough, okay, there it is, locked in. Now, I'm not going to pick up my allowance yet, because maybe, is it possible that the allowance actually gets doubled by the lucky coin purse? I'd like to find out. I don't think I've tested that. So, but now we have black prints more likely. I would like to think that this guarantees us a tomb. It may not be a guarantee. We will find out when I click this door in a second. The other thing I could do is wait to get some dice, but I'd like to get a tomb and then a Geist bedroom and get a whole bunch of dice. Let's just draft the outer room. It does guarantee us a tomb. Okay, we'll take it. There's no shrine here. That would be the only room I think that I would debate taking over the tomb. So I'll take the tomb here. We'll not go inside yet, even though there is gold there, but we'd like to pick up all the gold that we can once we have a lucky coin purse. So we are looking for a coat check now as well. The other reason to pick black prints is that there's not too many of them. So it feels to me like once you've drafted your tomb, your treasure trove, and I guess the aquarium counts as one, and the throne room, once you've drafted those, then they're not going to be... That blessing of the king is not necessarily going to be denying you access to a coat check or a freezer or other rooms that are relevant to your plan. So that's my thought there. My thought on those. Do I just want the corridor here to point me away from the other entrance hall doors? That feels nice. The pantry is gold. Pantry is just gold. I could take the spare master bedroom and wait to enter it. That might be the better play. Just take the spare master bedroom now, but you can hold off on it after you've drafted a bunch of rooms and up your step count. That feels like a solid plan. Let's do that. Even if we only fill out our base here with like 10 rooms or whatever, then that's 10 extra steps we're getting. So let's take the spare master bedroom. We'll take a peek here to see if we can see an item on the desk, but not seeing one, at least on the end. There may still be an item there, because I can't see the whole desk. Let's go to the east first this time. Dark room. Ugh. I could take a knight's shield here. It wouldn't be the worst knight's shield, because I do kind of want to give myself some doors. There's usually a gem as well in the dark room, isn't there, when you have the lights on? So we would just use our Knight's Shield right now, get the usage out of it. But I could also take that pantry. Take that pantry now, and it's still okay. Man, why did they give me the dark room here? The dark room, please. We had so many red rooms last draft that we were actually trying to get our hands on with our experiment clearing out crates. What do I want to do here? I want to save my Knight's Shield for the Lost and Found. That's my ideal usage for the Knight's Shield. It would also be pretty good for an Archives, I guess. Those are like the high value Knight's Shield red room synergies. But just settling for a good set of early doors here when we don't have the foundation to fall back on is not the worst idea either. I'll go ahead and use the Knight's Shield. I'll use it, and we'll take the dark room. And we will continue in this direction. It actually gave us a battery. What the hell? All right. They're hiding batteries in the dark room now as well. I think it's just the one single item that shows up in the dark room. Let's see what we get in the corner. And this will tell us whether we want to draft a dead end up above the dark room, I think. There's a coat check. I think I wanted to guarantee that we get the coat check. So if it showed up here, then I was probably going to slam dunk it. And I think we do. We're starting out with the pieces that we want to see to make 400 gold happen. So let's do it. See if we can make it happen. Another thing about picking the tomb is I have had a nudge about maybe at this point it's a good time to go back and take another look at the note by Lady Epson's tomb or her grave. Coffin. It is a coffin, isn't it? It's like a giant stone coffin. When I think coffin, I usually think like wooden coffin. But they can be made of stone, I think. So that is something as well, once we do go back to the tomb, to actually pick that up. To pick up our gold, that is, because now we have some gold additionally from picking the coat check. So, so that's good. But we also have a crap ton of gold from a treasure trove. Boom. Okay, perfect. Our Black Prince buff showing up right off the bat, as I was hoping it would, and it's even pointing in the right direction. What do you know? Now that does put us down to 1 gem, so we are in a position now where we want gems, but I'm not going to take an Archives just for the extra door. Easy treasure trove. So now when we do see a commissary, if we do see a commissary soon, then we can go ahead and just buy out a commissary. We can buy out anything we want, probably, when we're picking up double coins from a treasure trove this early. Oh, and now we get to test our allowance. See if we get double allowance. Dude, that put us to 1. There is 85 gold now, and there's going to be 90 next time in the treasure trove. That is insane. Got to get our hands on some keys to get the next set of intel from the treasure trove, so let's not forget about that. But let's keep drafting in this direction. There's a throne room. A little too soon for me, though. I think I have to take the courtyard here. Easy courtyard for the gem, if nothing else. And we'll see if it's friendly to us in the other... Aha! Here's an item. The other reason to pick the green room is what I was... Or the courtyard is the presence of additional items. In this case, adding a sledgehammer when we've already got a Morning Star is, you know, I guess we can wield, we can dual wield hammers, and that could be a thing. Okay, added 1 gem. Let's see if we can do more than that. Observatory. Oh shit, I forgot to check my star count. What are our stars at? God damn it. I might actually like pause the recording and go, or stop the recording and check my my footage to see what stars I had. I wish you could check it here on this screen, but I need to know what stars we're at here. Because do I want an inkwell right away, or would I rather get the den first and just get another den? Like, I'm kind of inclined to take the den here just for the doors. I like how that feels compared to the observatory anyways. But the observatory could be a lot of gems if our star count is low enough. If we're back in the 40s somewhere, the observatory might be the better pick for the gems. So let me quickly check my footage. Okay, we're at 51 stars. So we are in inkwell territory, which means we're not getting... We would go to 50... Actually, we would go to 52 stars, and I believe that would give us both an inkwell and twin trunks. And we have sledgehammers. We have 2 sledgehammers, one for each of those twin trunks. So the observatory is the pick, isn't it? There's a chance we miss completely with gems in those trunks, but it's got to be worth the risk, I think. And we just get an inkwell right off the bat. I'll take it. I will take it. Hopefully I'm right about this. I think I am right. I am correct. I did remember that it's pretty much, I don't know what the highest we got was with stars, but I would imagine it's just going to be inkwell plus whatever the current star reward is. Like, once you get to 6, maybe there would be some weirdness there, but I presume it would just do like Diamondus Minor and Twins or North Star and Southern Cross, something like that. It's probably going to be... Oh, Draxus the Dead is 12. It's probably going to be inkwell for most of the 50s, if not all. So now that we have an inkwell and we have the twin trunks, I think I want to go back to the entrance hall because I need gems, or I want gems to be able to draft a vault when it comes up, right? You don't want to be, or an attic. You don't want to, as the quicker you can, we'll test our allowance theory as well here and see how much we get. It does double the allowance. Okay, 400 is going to be way easier than I thought. This is maybe not going to be that hard at all. There's a treasure that we're getting and a compass. We do need a shovel now. Yo, that's treasure's too far away. Oh my God. So maybe they want us to go back. They want us to go back here with a compass and then draft a tunnel. Give me a tunnel and just go straight to rank 9. Do I take the compass? I think I do. Yeah, we'll take the compass here because I would like my... Well, if I get elbows here by the entrance hall, things are going to point up. So I'll just take the compass this time. We'll take the compass and trust that things will work out for us. I'm not going to overthink that one. I'd like to see some gems in this one, though. Gems, please. Oh, all right. Okay. We do need keys as well. We need everything. So we'll take those. And we have an inkwell now to really solve whatever problems may arise. In terms of rooms not behaving the way we want. Okay, our key situation is good, so we don't need a break room here. We can take the hallway for the extra doors. And no need to take a starfish aquarium yet. We don't have any green room synergy. We don't have any synergy with any rooms. Of course, this is showing up here because it's a black print as well. But there's no good reason. I don't think a gem shows up often enough in the aquarium to offset the chance that the fact that you'd be spending your last gem. So I think I'm more than happy to settle for the hallway. And take our key. And we'll do the same thing. We'll draft the corner over here, I think. We're not anxious to get our hands on her ladyship's chamber today. Is that the name of the room? Let's just draft the corner. Pantry now, or get those 6 dice on top of your stars. Because now we're already at 328. But if you take the pantry, then you're just that much closer to 400. But this is 6 dice. And I love the sound of having 6 dice. And it would be a dead end that you would take for additional gold out in. It's actually worth more gold than the pantry is if you, because of the tomb. So I think I like the Geist bedroom, and we still have plenty of doors through the rest of the house. Let's do it. We don't get whatever bedroom synergy we might get from... What is the bedroom synergy? I guess it'd be a nursery. That's really it. Maybe there's some bedroom synergy with your experiments when those are online, but do I even have those experiments? Do I even have the ones that are bedroom related in my current packet? Not sure that I do. Each time you dig a room, unlock all doors in that room. The kennel. That would be okay, but I feel like this is a redraw. I kind of want a room. I kind of want a T-shaped room that gives me 2 doors, so I can just stick another dead end over here. Start trying to draft like we would if we were playing the sweepstakes. Try to get as much gold as we can from those. I think I like that plan. When we have so many dice like this and stars, let's just get rooms. If we had a shovel already, then maybe the kennel is the one I would settle for. But before that, let's reroll here. They're determined to give me a straight through room, it seems, because I have the compass. Do I settle for a workshop? Because it is a workshop. I don't think it crafts anything for us this second, but it also functions as one of the rooms toward the mechanarium. And I did receive I had a couple questions about the mechanarium, and I did get some answers regarding that. So if the mechanarium comes up, we can talk about that. Maybe I'll just take the workshop here, I guess. Having a workshop at some point, you never know what you're going to want to make. Maybe I'll even turn this compass into... Oh, it turns it into a dowsing rod, doesn't it? One way or the other, there's going to be an item in here as well. We'll take the workshop. It's fine-ish. Oh, there's just a metal detector here. Sure. It took me a second looking at that because I thought this was a battery attached to some contraption that had already been made for us. I was like, they already made us a pre-built contraption? What's this? Is this some new feature that we've got? An upgraded workshop that I didn't know about. No, it's just a metal detector. Ya dingus. All right. Metal detector. So a detector shovel might be something we'd be interested in because that gets us more coins, I think. I do believe so. Aha! No, I don't. Not what am I thinking about? I was like, let's take a throne room for the extra doors. I can't afford it. But also, the den is better. I like the way the den's doors are situated, and that actually gets us a gem. The den is actually goddamn perfect here. Thank you. Thank you, game. Appreciate that. No trunk, but we do get our gem, and I think I'll draft over to the west wing. See if I can get... The compass is going to make it maybe a little hard to get the last door, the last room in rank 2, possibly. Except not in this case. They did give us a break room. Do I take that over an aquarium? Once again, I don't have a shovel. I don't think I could get... Maybe I could get a shovel from the aquarium, but I feel like it's much less likely when you don't have a veranda yet. I think I settle for the break room here. Some more keys. Make sure that we have a break room on our estate to get us a key card, because we might, who knows? We now know that the Foundation has a possibility of showing up, even though we used repellent spray. It seems like it doesn't actually get banned for a week. So we might have a Foundation that we're plopping down soon again, and we'd love to have a key card for when that happens. In any case, I don't think it's worth spending a gem, or sorry, a die here just to get an extra set of doors. Like a T-shaped room, the West Wing Hall, that would give us that door up to rank 4. I think I'll just settle for the break room. Save my dice. Oh yeah, I have a metal detector now, so if there are coins laying around, I will know. N. They always give you, like, a single number to start the game. Has that always been the case? I thought there was at least something a little more complicated than that. on certain days. We're going to square after subtraction. So we do 18 minus 16, which gives us 2. Squared is 4. Then we have squaring after addition. Now, I don't remember if it's... I think we're squaring after each addition. Although, in this case, it may not matter because we have a 1. So I guess it doesn't matter because 1 squared is 1. So then 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 squared is 25. Now, it would matter if you were going to square each of them individually. 1 squared and 4 squared would be 1 and 16, and then you would add those to get 17. That would give you a different answer. I feel like it's after. I think you do the addition first. You do 1 plus 4, and then you square. You don't square until you're there. So I think we want to end up with 25 minus 15, which gives us 10. My understanding is correct. Now we have 2 subtractions, it looks like, after 2 additions. So we've got 10 plus 5 is 15. And then we're actually subtracting 20 twice, and then, oh, we're squaring after each step, aren't we? So we have, this is interesting. You have 15 minus 20, which gives you negative 5. Then you square. So now you have positive 25. Then you subtract 20 to get positive 5. Then you square again, get back to positive 25. And then you divide by 5 to get to 5. Math is fun. Would you look at that? We were just talking about you, you little devil. There's a Mount Holly keycard. Beautiful. We love to see it. Okay, so filling out our base here like a responsible drafter would. Oh, and that's a commissary. Okay, so now we do want to get to 400 coins, but we also need gems. So we take a commissary because we want gems, and we also kind of want a shovel because we got to dig up a treasure at some point. So I will... It's not a dead end, but we're not drafting sweepstakes. We do want to get as many dead ends as we can. We have so far just the 3, the tomb included. Tomb, Geist bedroom, coat check. So that's 15 times 2, 30 gold that's waiting for us in the tomb. We still have the vault to hopefully get our hands on. I think it makes too much sense. We take the commissary, and we hope we have gems. Pretty please? Thank you. There's also a shovel. And a magnifying glass. Okay. I think I'm taking the shovel, because we know there's a treasure. I'm not sure that I want to take a magnifying glass. I know we keep special ordering it, and it's only 4 gold. Maybe I shouldn't worry about it that much. But, because if you get a vault plus the tomb, that's over 100 gold. Those two, at the moment, currently, those would both put you over 400. So you can afford to spend a little bit more here. Let's go ahead and do that. And we'll buy the set of gems as well. 5 gems. Another 15. Yeah, I think we're gonna get enough coins. And we have a metal detector as well. I think we can afford to get the gems. I think this 400 plan is not going to be as daunting as I initially was fearing. Okay, only... Well, no, not really only one place to go. There are a few different places we could go. Should we go back to the observatory and start to draft up to rank 9? See if they'll just give us a tunnel? That would be pretty fun. I would actually kind of like to do that. I would like to get a tunnel to take me to rank 9. Now, I might not have the keys, is the only problem. So maybe we should spend our time on... Let's just... for now, we'll draft from the den and get ourselves some more rooms. And then when we eventually go back to the observatory, we can, like, stop in the master bedroom to get us a bunch of steps. But it would be fun between dice and stars to try to just re-roll at this room here next to the observatory to try to get a tunnel. Because we've never done the tunnel thing all the way across the house. And who knows, like drafting the tunnel multiple times in a row could have, there could be new things to find in those subsequent tunnels. That is one thing on my to-do list that I haven't quite done yet. All right, well, I guess we'll just take more gems, more doors, more gems. This allows us to draft a dead end to the left of the den. So let's take it. The compass is doing its work here, doing the stuff that we want. So far, at least. We'll draft the door up above the den first, unless it's locked. And now there's an aquarium. Okay, I'll just, yeah, like, we'll do this. Let's do this. Just keep going north, and also having a dead-end door to the left that you can give yourself some more gold with. I'm okay with it now. Dead end, please. Spend a key here. Garage would be fine. Get us some more keys. I'll take the garage. That's a dead end. Yeah, especially, yeah, I'm not taking the throne room. Do I take the throne room for any reason? I hadn't mentioned it yet. I was going to mention it, but I forgot. The throne room is another room that I think somebody in the comments was basically saying, maybe don't be too hasty to discount the throne room, which is what I was starting to do, starting to just chalk it up to, okay, there's a lever there that opens room 46. There was a sanctum key. Cool, we got usage out of the throne room. Done with it. Maybe not so fast. I didn't read the entire comment because I wasn't sure that I wanted to read the entire comment. It looked like maybe there was a little bit too much guidance being given. So I held off. I only read the part that just said, don't be too quick to discount the throne room. And I just left it at that. So there is more, I think, to investigate or think about regarding the throne room. So I want to get back there eventually. Maybe it would even be worth an axe. Except now we got rid of our armory. We'll think about the throne room. Let's pick up the garage here. Our key situation should now be good. Between this, I can't open the trunk, but between this and our key card, should be good to go. And I have a shovel now in case there are dig sites that start popping up. There is probably at least one dig site in this aquarium. There's always a dig site in the aquarium, is there not? And now we have a broken lever to make us... God damn you. To make us a what? Oh, I could make a detector shovel. I did forget about that. I could make a detector shovel. Should I do that? I should go back and do that, shouldn't I? I should have done it just now. There's no guarantee that we get ourselves a vault, so we might need every last coin that we can get. Let me just also remind myself what my contraptions are here. In the I put the I have this screenshot in the library. My contraptions are, what do I make with the shovel? The detector shovel and the dowsing rod. What do I make with the metal detector? The burning glass is the other one, isn't it? Oh, I can also make a pick sound amplifier, but I don't think I'll need that. Oh, and the electromagnet is the compass and the battery pack. What does the electromagnet do again? The electromagnet. I honestly kind of forget what the electromagnet does. Do I have that in my workshop notes? Electromagnet. Crap. No, I do have it. Oh, you're more likely to draw mechanical rooms. And you automatically collect coins and keys when entering a room. Oh, bro, I had forgotten. I honestly thought it was just related to the coins and keys. I forgot this effect regarding mechanical rooms. If we want to do the mechanarium thing, then yes, we want mechanical rooms. Oh, man. But we also want to do 400 gold. What we might do, if we're able to get the 400 gold thing done, then maybe we can store an electromagnet in our coat check. Maybe that's something we could do, and then we can just start the day looking for as many mechanical rooms as we can get our hands on. I don't want to get unfocused Because if we start trying to go for mechanical rooms, then that's less chances at a vault. It's less chances at maybe actually even getting the gift shop today. Who knows? I don't want to get unfocused. But okay, I did want to make a detector shovel. That, even if we're making an electromagnet, making a detector shovel does not interfere with that. And we still get to dig up a treasure map when we get there. If we make this. We don't get to do that with a dowsing rod. The dowsing rod no longer allows you to dig. Okay, so we'll think about possibly making a... It's these two, right? Yeah. I don't want to lose... I actually kind of like, right now, the effect of the compass. And that possibility of maybe getting those tunnels that go to rank 9. So I'm going to hold on to my compass. Do need to be a little bit conscious of steps here. But I'm liking what the compass is doing for us at the moment. Passageway. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Doors, doors, doors. Love it. Easy passageway. And it's free. And that lets me draft a dead end here, hopefully. No dead end. I think I will redraw to get a dead end. Because now I do just want to start stacking up as much gold in the tomb as possible. And I don't want any of these in this position. I mean, the library... Maybe I should think about the library because that could be a vault. Maybe I should do the library, actually. It could be a vault or it could even be a gift shop because the gift shop is rare, isn't it? We should take the library. Now, the one thing about drafting the library here, we're going to have the compass. And I think that's going to mean that dead ends are less likely. And maybe I should have thought about that in general. The fact that the compass wants you to have a door that goes north. But that doesn't mean that dead ends are going to get completely excluded, does it? This dang throne room is going to keep showing up, though, until I finally draft it today. Thanks to this banner of the king. Maybe I should take the library. I'll do it. And this is where we'll spend at least some of our dice, I think, while we have the gems to spend on a vault. We happen to get a key as well. The library is pretty nice to us, actually, in terms of giving us items, much more than I kind of thought at first. It felt like an itemless room, but we've seen so many items in the library, actually. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. The casino has gold, but the secret passage would let us draft a shop. The secret passage would let us draft a shop, and that's where we could re-roll to try to get a gift shop. That was one of my things that I was thinking about. Like, if we do get a chance at a secret passage, it might be worth going for it to make sure you nail down that gift shop. If we don't get our hands on a vault today, we can still get a freezer. So, one way or the other, hopefully, the gold that we have already is not going to go to waste. Because right now we don't have the gold just yet. If we land that gift shop, we don't get to buy what we want just yet. I think I'd go for it though, because there's so few shops. There are really not too many shops in the pool. Like, we could even save this secret passage. We don't have to draft this right away. We could go and just naturally draft the rest of the house and come back here once we've oh, but the secret passage doesn't necessarily... I think it actually ignores... Actually, I don't know for sure. I was going to say, I think the secret passage might ignore the rooms that you've already drafted. It might have its own pool. It might still just offer you all shops, no matter what, because it is such a small pool of rooms that it's otherwise drawing from. Like, you could winnow down to just like 2 shops left in your normal house. And then it would have to take some room from the ones you've already picked to offer you 3 choices. I don't know if that means it always operates as a room that has its own pool. I haven't paid close enough attention, guys. I haven't paid close enough attention. But I think we take a secret passage, but I'm not going to draft it yet. Let's take it. And save it for later. I think we save it for later. But that also means that I'm saving my dice and stars for later. But I want to get my hands on... I don't know. Maybe we should just do this right now. Maybe we should just do it right now. While I have the dice... Because I'm going to want to use dice in other spots. But I would definitely want to make sure I get... It just feels a little bit premature to go for the gift shop when you don't have the 400 gold yet. That's all I'm thinking. So... Because you're going to have to come back here anyways once you have the 400 gold. Even if you drafted the gift shop right now, you'd have to schlep all the way back over there once you actually get the gold that you need. So we'll come back. We will continue for now, I think, through the passageway. And let's just keep drafting northward, I suppose. At some point, I need to go back to that master bedroom, but we got plenty of steps to get back there. Let's just keep drafting north. I think I draft north first and just see if I can keep stacking. In this case, I don't want to stack a room to the left. So I got to leave the secret passage draftable. But if I can get up a little bit farther and give myself... There's a kennel. I'll take the kennel now. I don't want the archives. And I don't want the observatory... blocking my way. I want to just keep going. And the kennel is a nice effect. Maybe will be relevant. Let's take the kennel. Doggo. I wish I could let you guys out. Take you for a walk. That would be a cool addition. Yo, there's a gem here. That would be a cool addition. The ability to take the dog for a walk out on the grounds. A silver key. Whoa. I don't know if I've ever dug up a silver key. That's kind of crazy. Might even use that here. If I actually got a locked room. If I got a locked room. They did give us a showroom, though. But I'm trying to save room. Or I'm trying to save gold for... Here's the thing. The showroom is another room that I want, though, because if we don't get a gift shop, the showroom could have a chronograph, and that would allow us to try and draft freezers. So I think I will take the showroom just for that possibility. I think so. Yeah. And then we will hold off on making any purchases. The closed exhibit is also good because we do have a key card. I would love it if it were pointed the other direction. But this is still okay. Closed exhibit is not bad. It's between the closed exhibit, obviously, and the showroom. I don't think I'd re-roll here. I think I am going to lock down that showroom. The potential of a chronograph when we're actually in the market for one is enough to make me interested here in taking the showroom, but I'm looking around and I don't think I see a chronograph. Dang it. I do see an ornate compass, which we love. Moon pendant, we love. But these are expensive items now. And I don't think I'm gonna... we want to get a gift shop. That's unfortunate. No chronograph there is a bummer. So if we do have to rely on getting a freezer, we're gonna have to do it some other way. Don't think I want to use my silver key here. Or do I? I don't really need to get to... The antechamber doors aren't open right now, so the silver key actually doesn't do much of anything. Let's just take the key. You guys are pointing the wrong direction. Hello? I needed my ornate compass. Should have bought it. I'm going to reroll here because I do want to get those other rooms. I want to get the corner at least. The boudoir would be fun. Get me some more dice, but it's pointed in the wrong direction. Do I ever use stars before I use dice? Because I do kind of want to get back down to 40 stars. Or do I? Maybe I don't need to get back down that badly. Maybe it's fine. The pool. Okay. Yeah, I want the pool because it has trunks and it gives us a sauna, which is if I get offered a sauna, I think I'll take it because it gives me the opportunity to thaw my assets. Because what I might want to do is like take a freezer the moment I see it, if we do see it, and then go to the sauna to thaw out my assets if we happen to start actually getting to 400 gold. Or we actually get a gift shop. That would be the reason. And the pool is probably going to have more coins on average than the pantry will. So pool it is. For multiple reasons. And we still have plenty of steps to get back to the spare master bedroom, so we just keep drafting. Okay, gems are fine-ish, but I'll definitely take coins now from these chests. If it's not too much of a hassle. Thank you. Double coins as well. That's such a good feeling. Scrooge McPrince over here. This is really why we drain the pool, so we can just dump all our gold in here. Well, why can't I use this as a a place to stash my gold? Trophy room. That's fine, I suppose. I don't think I need the keys. But I am only at 4 keys, and I haven't turned the security level up yet. Do have a silver key still. So, when we already have so many gems, the trophy room is... it's fine. Maybe the music room is actually the smart pick here. We get a major key on top of everything. The major key is probably going to be Secret Garden. Oh, it could be Prism. Ooh, actually, yo, the Prism key is actually probably that's the one I'm going to take a music room now that I think of it. The possibility of a Prism key could be very crucial to getting us a shop. And that might even mean, I think I actually take the music room. Yeah, because I'm at 11 gems. And we still have plenty of gems. I'm gonna take the key here. Let's see what we get. We do get a Prism key. Sweet. I don't know if it will allow us to do what we want to do directly at metal detector. Still going. Coin, yay. What am I thinking here? Let me put my thoughts together. Let's go to our shops. Okay. The showroom is the only straight through that we have. So if we're gonna get the gift shop via a Prism key, it would not be... well, unless we get a second showroom. But it would... let me finish my thought. I always do this where I'm in the middle of... I'm mid-sentence and I'm moving on to the next thought. If we draft it from a secret passage and we draft a shop, the only way to get a subsequent shop using a Prism key from the shop that we get from the secret passage, the only way to do that is to get either a showroom or a gift shop. Those are the only 2 rooms, with the way our state is laid out now, the only 2 rooms that would actually be draftable to this room. But if we already get a gift shop, then we're good to go. So somehow we'd have to get like a second showroom here. But we could get shops in any other place in the house. That's the thing, right? We still have the observatory to draft from. So because of that, I think I will just draft this door here in the music room. I was thinking about leaving it open to like draft through the shop from the secret passage and then get a gift shop. But because it seems very unlikely that we would do that, I'll draft this other door. It does cost us another key, but I think we'll be fine. We just picked up one. That's the other reason we took this, so that we could comfortably take a storeroom. Boom. I think that's better than a veranda. We've already drafted a courtyard and an aquarium. We don't have a buff to finding green rooms today, so I think I just take the storeroom for a dead end. And it gets us 20 coins. Yeah, it's just perfect. Okay, so no other items in here. Now is when we head back, I think, to the spare master bedroom and pick up the steps. And then we draft from the observatory. Maybe. Maybe we draft from the observatory. Maybe we just draft from the spare master bedroom. Maybe it doesn't matter too much. But I have this idea in my head that I want to do a tunnel that gets us to the treasure. But then if I do that, I am sort of... If I'm building a tunnel all the way to the treasure, maybe it would be better to go for a tunnel from the spare master bedroom, because then I don't want to just put a set of rooms all the way through the center of the last 3 columns that I've got available. Now I'm not going to really be able to draft. I'm going to be so confined with the rest of my draft here. I think we'll just draft from the spare master bedroom, maybe spend a few rerolls there. If we get the tunnel from that room, that might be how we get up to rank 9 right away and do at least, 4 or 5 tunnels strung together. But let's head back. We're not buying the ornate compass. We're holding off. We're waiting. Waiting to get our moon pendant. We're being responsible shoppers here. Trying to be. The electromagnet is interesting on a subsequent day. Good thing I remembered that has the effect that it does. No item here, but 25 steps. Feels good. Let's draft. Where's my compass? Where's my compass doing what it's supposed to do? Hello? I'll reroll. I do not want a mailroom. I'm on the outs with the mailroom. Get it out of here. I might not have any more straight through rooms. But there should be plenty of, 3-door rooms, right? I should still have quite a few of those to draft. Securities in the pool. We don't want a parlor here to close things off. Yeah, let's keep... This is where I use my dice. There's a corridor. Okay. I'll settle for a corridor, I think. I'd love to get a tunnel, though. Is the tunnel rare? I'd like to get more value out of the corridor as well, but I'm not gonna push it. We'll just settle for the corridor, but let me look at the... It's actually standard. I feel like this shows up so infrequently for a standard room. I think it must be draftable only in certain places. Like maybe it only shows up on rank 2 when you're pointed northward. I haven't been cataloging like I was at the beginning of the game when I was cataloging all my picks and like when I was seeing certain rooms, at what ranks that I was seeing them and which direction. Feels like the tunnel is not quite... There's some stipulations on that standard rarity. Some hidden fine print. Man, this throne room just will not go away. He's like, are you sure? Are you sure? If you were pointing to the north, I might consider it. But you got to point in the right direction, at least, for us to... We got to get on the same page. Aha! Aha! Well, 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 well. We finally get our wish. I think we're taking it. Now, it would be awesome here if we could get the experiment going that has, like, where you have... you draft consecutive hallways, right? That would be awesome, because now we could just get 1, 2, 3... I mean, we could just do 4 if we wanted, go straight to the antechamber, and that would be 4 experiment triggers. And it would be so funny if we also got offered crates out of the tunnel. We'd be tunneling crates out of the tunnel. Haha. We'll definitely take the tunnel here, but I think... I'm wondering if I should try to go to the observatory and get an experiment started. We haven't seen a single security room or laboratory this whole time. Though I don't know if the compass is screwing with that. Feels like it might kind of be screwing with that. But The tunnel. The tunnel would also be nice to take us straight to the treasure. Interesting. I'm going to take, let's see, we're at 41 steps. How do I want to play this? 41 steps. We could go back to the observatory. Another thing, though, about taking tunnels across the map is those are like 3 or 4 less rooms that you have at getting a freezer. For what that's worth. I really would like to do this experiment, though. I would like to be able to do this experiment. We might have to redo our experimental packet. But let's leave that tunnel there. We've left a couple hallways with undrafted doors because we're trying to set things up here. Not that door. We're trying to set things up in a favorable way for ourselves. I forgot there are dig sites here in the courtyard. I want to get a good experiment going. I want an experiment, god damn it. Yo. It just gave us a gift shop. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Game on, folks. Game on. Boom. All right. The gift shop is on lock. We just have to get the gold now. We just have to get the gold. We don't even necessarily need that secret passage unless it's to get a casino, because that's 30 gold in a casino. How much gold is in the tomb? We have 1. Oh, the secret passage counts as a dead end as well. 2, 3, 4, 5 dead ends, and then the tomb itself is 6. So that's 30, 60. Dude, we're there. We're freaking there. We just need 3 more gold. And there are dig sites in the tomb. Yo, we maybe should just do this right now. We should just do this right now. Go back to the tomb, dig up the sites that are in there, probably gets us the gold that we need, and then we buy the tents and we're done. We're done with this stupid thing already. And then whatever else happens the rest of the way is fine. We get our 1 goal accomplished for the day. I think we do that. And even if we fall, like, even if every single dig site is like an old shoe or something. Every single dig site in the tomb, we strike out. Oh, we have this as well. Okay, we will do this on the way back. My brain is is pointed in one direction right now. We open these chests, right? One stinking direction. Trying to keep it pointed in one stinking direction. Still have a little bit of cat laser brain. But yeah, while we have the steps to do this, before we get farther into the house on the east wing, let's do this. Because I think we are there. I think we're there. Yo, wait a second. There are dice over here. What the heck? Okay. Had we gotten those before? There was an upgrade disc there previously, but I didn't know that they replaced it with dice. Unless I did already know and I just forgot because I'm a dingus. Very possible. Now, the other thing I just realized is that in coming down to the tomb, I was going to... No gold. I was going to spend some time trying to decipher Lady Epson's note. So maybe we'll do that while we're down here. Now, I do have that note in my actual notes, so it's not required that we do that while we're here. But it kind of makes sense when you're in the game to actually go to the place that... Do the investigation while you're at the actual note in-game. But I also want to dig up dig sites. Coins, please? Coins. That's it. That's it. I think that is it. Let's pick up the pile of coins over here and make sure I didn't miscount. But even if I miscounted by 1, I think we still get there. True. I think there's 30 coins here, which is going to turn into 60. 405 coins. Just like that. Yo, lucky coin purse. Most OP item in the game. Okay. Okay. We have our gold and we have our gift shop. The day is done. It's not done though. But the main goal is soon to be accomplished. But what I'm gonna do is we will study this note for a little bit after I take a short little break. Okay, so time to get myself try to get myself into the Ajiran headspace. Our language lessons here. Let me bring up the notes here so we can have these as we're going through this. I was actually, as I was thinking about this during my break, I was actually kind of dreading this a little bit. This is not my... the last time that we reviewed this, I felt like I was figuring some things out, but I also feel like my understanding of Erajan is still not good. But let me see if I can give it another shot here. We can see if the only way my brain knows to do this is like starting at the beginning and trying to go like letter by letter or fragment by fragment. So if we have OV, that's supposed to be toward. And then we're supposed to have L, which means I or me. So I think what we had found out here is or what I had surmised before is that this is to my daughter, is what she's trying to say. Dajiris is maybe Ajiran for daughter. To my daughter. That's what makes sense to me, at least. Now, Ul El Dao. Ul El Dao. Ul El Nai. Ul El Mora. Dao, Nai, and Mora. I think I recognize those as day, night, and Mora is supposed to be Earth, isn't it? Is it Earth or planet or land, perhaps? It might just mean land. Because if we're thinking, what is she trying to say here? Also, what does Ul mean? That part I'm not sure if I oh no, here it is. It means I will or I won't. When paired with a verb, when paired with a verb. What's the verb here? Day, night, and land are not verbs. Is it being paired with a verb? Either way, the UL is supposed to be I won't. No, sorry. It's I will. I will. The Lu is I won't. Okay. I will. I will. Unless that was a reference to L and lay. UL and LU is you will. You will. That's what it is. L is I and me. Ul is you. You or you will. I think that must be what it is. Okay, so you, when it's paired with a verb. In this case, it might not be paired with a verb. It might just be, oh, what if it's UL and EL? What if is this what I had figured out before? I feel like some of this is me starting from square one and just trying to remember all the things that I learned last time. So please forgive me if I'm repeating things that, didn't you learn this before? Maybe I did, but it's been how long now? How many weeks or months since I last looked at this letter, and I got to remind myself just what I had done previously. Is it trying to say that our day, UL and EL together might mean our? Our day, our night, our land? What does that mean though, to my daughter? Maybe it's good day, good night. I don't know. See, and now I'm getting frustrated already. I'm already getting a little bit frustrated because I feel like I don't quite get this. And the game, I'm such a literal brain thinker. I have trouble if the pattern that's given me, if these pairings and the vocabulary that's spelled out in the classroom, if it doesn't quite, if I'm not able to get a similar pattern here, or this is a new pattern to me that I hadn't learned before, UL plus EL. But I guess, I don't know, maybe that just means our. But if it means hour, what does our day mean? Why would you start a letter by saying our day, our night, our planet? I don't get it. I guess let's keep going here. OV is supposed to be toward your or our. If UL and EL together is our, let's proceed under that. To our gift. To our gift. ELD, my house. My house. Hue is house, right? My house to the south. ISS is the south. In is north. INN. Is south. Et is east. What was west? What was west? Do I have that listed here in Arajan, or is that part of... I think this is part of the... I should probably put it here in... Oh, we can see Ovet. The large house. The large house is toward the east. To our gift. To our gift. What does it mean when we're putting this OV to our gift? To you I give. To you I gift my house in the south. I think I had figured that part out before. I'm still hung up on this our day, our night, our... Maybe it's a greeting. Maybe it's just a greeting, a standard, like, slogan. And I think maybe that's what I came to before, is that this is just like their signature greeting. Nevdao, new day. Uld Ariel? See, I don't think I know this one. Oh, except it's lay at the end. There is an LE at the end. So that means... Huh. UL is I will. Derai. Oh, Arai is supposed to be future. So what does it mean? A new day for you, but not me? You'll be in the future, but not me? I feel like this is so hard for my brain to figure out. I struggle with this so bad. But then she says the same thing again. She says, Nevdao, and then she switches. She's like, I future, you won't. I don't get this, guys. I don't get this. I feel like I'm gonna need some help on this one. Because I feel so... Like I'm sort of peering in to the meaning, but I also feel incredibly frustrated by it. I don't like doing this. And I also feel like I'm being a little crybaby right now. AJ is first I will bid. See, I think bid, it feels like bid is actually an English word, because we see English words in here, right? We've got forget, Sinclair, Epson, bid. First I will bid. You will heed. First, I bid you to heed my words. I think that's what it is. First, heed my words. Uldiris. No. Uldir. What? You will... Odd? Is it supposed to be odd? Odd iris? See, I have no idea what this means. And this is where I'm like, I want to like yell at the game. You haven't told me what odd iris means. I don't know what iris means. And have I seen iris else? Isn't it also, doesn't it appear somewhere else? It appeared up here. Okay, so Dejirus we thought was daughter. Is Odiris? Is that supposed to be your son? I'm just thinking like daughter starts with D. What family member starts with O? Not uncle, that's a U. See, and now I don't even know if I'm on the right track. Am I completely sidelined? Because the only pattern that my brain can glom onto is I think that this is daughter. And now Iris appears in 2 places, so now it's like another family member. Ugh. Frustrated, man. Frustrated. Why does this note frustrate me so much? I don't know. I think it's because when I first came here, I just had this like, okay, we've learned Ajiren now. We've been to the classroom. We know what we're supposed to know. Now we'll go to the note and it'll make 100% crystal clear sense. Not so much. I think that's all I can do for now on this. I tried to get my brain in the right headspace, but it's not there today to want to tackle this note fully. And it, like, the fact that I'm being nudged back to this note is also kind of daunting because it makes me think that this is not just flavor. Like, this is actually something I need to solve some puzzles in this game somehow. And that to me feels like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to figure out this note. I almost like I hate looking stuff up and I hate having people just tell me stuff. But when I look at this note, that's the feeling that I get. I get the feeling of, you know what? I don't want to hassle with the translation here. I don't want to have to decode Arajan anymore. I just, at least today, cannot get my head in the right frame in order to tackle that. So I'm not throwing in the towel yet. We'll maybe swing back to it during like a notes review session or something. Like I need maybe just when I'm also just, we have a 405 gold in our pockets and I'm so anxious to like continue on that trend or stay focused on accomplishing that goal. And I need a different day and time to sit down where I'm just, okay, this is where I'm going to focus on the note. I tried to do it. My efficiency brain tried to be like, okay, we're at the tomb. Let's take some time while we're there and focus on Lady Epson's note. It's just not going to happen today. It's not happening. So let's do the goal that we know we can accomplish and save the rest for a different day. I will take one more little sidetrack though before we get to the gift shop. One sidetrack to check a note here. I think we probably know this already. Green memos in pink boxes are always false. I think this is already acquired knowledge, but let's be sure about it. Let me go to my treasure trove rules here. What did we say? Green memos in pink boxes are always false. We know that pink moon boxes contain false memos, but apparently, I guess we hadn't figured out that actually green memos so it actually green memos in, hold on, let's be sure about this because this is gosh, there's so many rules to keep track of. This is a white box. Blue boxes, oh, that's blue boxes. Do we know anything? We don't have anything telling us anything about blue notes just yet. So I think we can actually copy this. I think we can make a duplicate rule here, but change this to pink boxes. But we can say they're always false. I think that's what we've got now, right? Green memos in pink boxes are always false. And I don't think I have a rule. We have a rule here that says that sun boxes contain true memos. So I think we can add this. This is a sun box. We can add this to our list of true memos. I'm going to do it. And maybe we'll take a little more time at some point before we're done to try to think through our treasure trove stuff a little bit more, because that was, I can't remember if I already mentioned it or not, but that's another nudge. In addition to checking the Arajan note from Lady Epson, checking our treasure trove rules again, because the true treasure of the trove apparently has not yet been discovered. And I need to look more closely at the intel that we have on that front. Something to get to later. Right now, we get to buy a thing. Let's go. Purchased. Man, you feel like there should be some fireworks or something there. Or like, buying out the showroom was its own trophy. You don't also get a trophy for just buying the blue tents? All right, I guess we had to get 8 trophies, though, to get to this point, so yeah, maybe the trophies were the trophy for the blue tents is the cumulative 8 trophies that you've got to this point. Now, does this apply right away? It does. It's actually a permanent addition. It's a permanent addition. Does it already apply to the rooms that we've drafted at rank 8? If we went back to the showroom or the storeroom, I guess we'll find out. We're not going to go back there, obviously, right this second. Right now, we're going to keep on drafting and try to get some steps. I think that's the main goal now at this point, is just to get a kitchen would be okay, but I would need a little bit more gold. But one way or the other, I'd like to get a few more steps. Steps, you say? Steps, you say? That wasn't quite what I had in mind, but a pantry would get us a few steps as well. I think I'll settle for pantry, but I do have dice that I could use to try to get a 3-way room. But I think the pantry is okay-ish, right? Because I do want to keep drafting. I don't want to have just the tunnel to keep drafting the rest of my house. I guess I have the passageway, but we're assuming that the tunnels are going to go right past the passageway. So I'll draft the pantry here because it does get us the fruit that's in the pantry. There's an orange here, in fact. But more importantly, it gets us a door that continues our draft. Okay, a pump room will continue our draft. Don't need a solarium now because we don't need a vault. And we already got our gift shop. So I think I'll just settle for the pump room. It probably, I don't know about probably, it might have a dig site. But it has a door. And I don't think I need to spend a die just yet. Let's just keep getting doors. And they do give us a trunk. Cool. Nothing we actually want to change in the... Don't have any reason to change the levels of anything. Yeah, the fountain stays the way it is. There's gold in the fountain, I was just thinking. But we don't need it now. We spent our 400 gold already. The prism key is what we have, right? Oh, we still have a silver key. But I don't think I need that here. But if I don't take it here, where else am I using it? So I just answered my question. Because I'm actually not going to use this where we have the tunnels. Oh, and there's a security room. That was the other goal that we had, was to do experiments. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful. I can also give myself security doors for whatever that's worth. Okay, let's do our housekeeping duties at the 3 coins somewhere. Maybe here in the security room. For all I know, I didn't check very diligently. But there's never gold in the security room, is there? Maybe with a metal detector there is. Or a detector shovel in this case. Don't need to change the offline mode. But we will log into the network. We also have staff announcements to check for. Let's do that first. Anything new? There is a new one. December 21st. I assume that's today. If we want to try to communicate with Simon, is it better to post here or to send him emails? I would say post here. I can't reply to this, I don't think. I wish I could. That'd be fun. But I think it's much better to post here because the emails are tied to a terminal, and who knows which terminal you're emailing. But I can't respond to Kimberly anyway, so we're gonna have to just wait and see what the response is from presumably Randolph. Magnifying glass once again. Just keep doing that. And then we do... Let's just check data transfers. No new packets yet? Question mark. I don't know if there's going to be more packets to download. But laboratory. And I think what I'm going to do is pull up... I should have a screenshot. Presumably I put this in the laboratory tab. But I think I should have a screenshot of my current packet. Yeah, I did do that. So if I bring that up here, the current packet that I have for experimental triggers, whenever you draft a shop room, whenever you bypass a security door, whenever you spend 2 or more gems, whenever you draft an archive floor plan, each time you find some trash while digging, when you draft a red room, rooms with fireplaces, and then upgraded floor plans. Do I want to change this? Because I kind of don't like, the more I was thinking about it, having to rely on archived floor plans. I don't like that. I think I'd rather, we don't have the one I was thinking of. When you draft a hallway from another hallway, that's the one I would like to swap in. Because now we have, especially today, we have the golden opportunity to get this to pop off. And we could even do it with our secret passage as well, because we never had to use a secret passage as a shop. We can just take a hallway. So we can get at least 5 experiment triggers from this one. So we definitely add that today, assuming I could just change my packet on the fly. We'll see if the game will let me do that. Now, do I want to make any other changes? Because the drafting a shop room is good for when we want to do that silly aquariums nonsense. And I think we will want to do that again at some point. Security doors is still probably fine. The 2 gems, that one definitely happens a lot. Upgraded floor plans happens a lot. The next 10 times you view your map. Oh, what a troll room. Each time you draft a tomorrow room, that would be great if you had a chronograph. Different terminals. Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Every room you draft within the next 40 seconds. The first time you enter each room on rank 9. Each time you eat an apple. The next 3 times you open and unlock and... Huh. Does that mean you actually have to use a key on the chest? I think it still triggers if you use a sledgehammer, correct? Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. You can answer that. For whatever it's worth, it's not that big a deal, but it could be good to know. We're definitely, though, we're going to swap. I think the only change I'm going to make is archive floor plan for hallway. So we know we're going to make at least that change. Let's see if it'll let us make the change. Packet management. I think I want to create a new custom packet, and it'll let me do that. So we do shop room, security doors, 2 gems, but we swap out archived for hallways. This one could be one to think about swapping in, but the red rooms that happened a lot, and we were able to manage our steps still pretty comfortably. We have fireplace in there because I do want to just try that at one point. It just feels like that would be a fun one to try. And then I do have to choose 8. Can't whittle down my pool to less than that. Upgraded floor plan we want. And then what was the last one that I had? In terms of triggers, I guess I was also doing the trash while digging. I feel like that one should happen quite a bit, although maybe not with a detector shovel. Regular shovel, sure. That feels fine to me. And then I'm just going to copy off what I'm going to alt-tab back and forth between my list here that I had before. I don't think we're going to make any changes to this. Just go with the ones that we had previously. Really don't need... This would have been the gold for each red room. That would have been a fun one if I'd have thought about that as another way to get gold. If we didn't have a lucky coin purse. But that one kind of trivializes things, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, I think that is... Oh, do we have one more, which is permanently increase your lockpicking skill? I think... Wait, was that what I did? No, I had add a small chest to the entrance hall. That's what I had. Do I like that? I just realized there's no more... No, never mind, it's here. Letter to deliver to the mailroom. Do we need to deliver more letters? Feel free to let me know if it would be worthwhile to deliver more letters to the mailroom. Feel free to answer that. Because I feel the pattern that I have is that all these letters are stuff we know already. And whatever's left is just going to tell me stuff I already know. If that's not the case, feel free to nudge me to add this to my experimental triggers. For now, we're going to go with that custom packet, slight alteration, and set up a new experiment. Let's see what we get. No crates removed from the tunnel, unfortunately. So this experiment really doesn't matter. I guess we can add a small chest to the entrance hall. I was hoping that I might give myself some steps. We could try to buff our star count a bit. We also didn't even get the tunnel trigger either. We didn't get the back-to-back tunnels, so... Okay, so really this doesn't matter then, does it? I'll just do chest in the entrance hall, and whenever we draft a room with a fireplace, right? Or 2 or more gems, maybe. I don't know. I do want to get a dining room. I'll go with this one. This one doesn't matter to me now, because we're just getting resources, basically. And I don't really want to do aquariums because I would rather draft other rooms, I guess. And my star count is still above 50. So yeah, this experiment doesn't really matter. Fix it and forget it. Move on with our lives. So there's no items here in security. Let's draft upward. All right. I might use... Yeah, we didn't get the tunnel experiment. So I want steps. Does the laundry room get me steps when it's not connected? Not when it's not connected to a boiler room. That's what I was going to say. Does it help me in any other way? I don't think so. Theoretically, I could connect it to a boiler room if I got a boiler room through security. Could happen. I think this is a redraw. Because I kind of want both the door leading up the east wing, but I also just want, like, something that's going to get me steps. Like a dining room. I still have 3 dice. I'm going to redraw. Tell laboratory now. Funny joke, game. I think I'm going to reroll. Unsure. There's a kitchen. I'll settle for a kitchen because that does get me steps. All right. Good enough. And now I think I'll go back. Now that I have steps, I'll go back to the tunnel. There's tomato soup, but I don't really have red rooms, I don't think. I just have the dark room and the aquarium. It's still something, right? That gets me 10 steps. But the bananas are a better... Well, slightly better return on... Actually, the tomato soup is still a better rate, isn't it? It's still 2 steps for every gold. This is like 1.5 steps for every gold. So the tomato soup is the smarter purchase there. This one is close to 2 steps. for every... So it's actually tomato soup first. We have this, if we want to take a furnace and get a wood-fired pizza buffed up. I guess that's good to know. I'm not saving the tomato soup, because I may not be back to the kitchen. We'll see. I'll take the club sandwich as well, and I'll take the banana. Spend all our gold. Okay. All right, cool. Kitchen has been done. And we'll leave these doors to... Maybe I'll draft the door next to security, put a dead end there. And then we'll draft from the tunnel. I do have a prism key still. Whatever that's worth. Bunk room does not get me steps, but it gets me resources, I guess. Do I like those resources more than I like... Oh, the bunk room could get me fruit. So I think I'll take the bunk room here, because I don't really need gems or keys. Yeah, bunk room. It might give me gems or keys, because it kind of cycles around between those. But it looks like it's also given me coins. Cool. Could buy a couple more bananas. Wait. Wait, why did it not double my... Did I not pick up 2 coins just now? Don't I have a lucky coin purse? What? Did we just find a loophole in the... Did we just find a loophole in the bunk room logic? Or the lucky coin purse logic? I feel like I should have 4 coins there instead of 3. What am I missing? What I'm not missing is a gift shop. And a set of blue tents. It feels so good. I actually would like to go back out to the campsite to see what it looks like. I want to see what our blue tent looks like. And while I'm at the entrance hall here, I might just do that. I also need to stow away something in my coat check, but I think I want that to be an electromagnet. Let's hold off on going outside just yet. We don't need to do it just this moment. We can always do it tomorrow. If worse comes to worse. Let's keep focusing on our... Oh, there's a dig site here. Keep focusing on our business. Oh, and the doggos, right. The kennel buff. Feels good. Tunnel. Boom. Second time, or first ever time that we've put the tunnels back to back. Does it do anything awesome or spectacular? Looks like the answer is no. I honestly, I feel like you guys wouldn't have heard this, but I think I just heard the neighbor's dog bark outside. I could be wrong. Maybe I also heard a second dog barking in the headphones. But that was a interesting coincidence if that is what happened. Okay, it looks like nothing special is happening when they're just regular, ordinary tunnels with dig sites. Yeah, I think it was actually the neighbor's dog barking. What timing? So it's like free unlocks on these doors, which is hilarious. Because of the kennel. All right, but nothing, there's no like, oh, you're getting this extra special, blue memo or something because you drafted a whole bunch of tunnels together. Got another silver key. However, we are drafting a room up into rank 8, and that is going to have a blue memo, which I'm excited to check out. Now this, I will use a redraw here, and I might use a couple stars, because I do want to get... We have no antechamber doors open, so I want to get a room to the right, because I would like to get that treasure, although, does it really matter? Probably doesn't really matter. But there's no point in taking another tunnel here, because we don't have an experiment online. If I did, I would definitely slam dunk the tunnel to remove another crate. But I don't want to take a utility closet We redraw here. Throne room. I will take a casino. Because we might get to spin the wheel. We probably will spin the wheel because we get a whole bunch of gold. Do we? Ah, okay, so the wrong table. Okay, we do end up getting 30 gold, which is, I'm a little suspect now of the math that our lucky coin purse does. I don't think I want to spin yet. If we can get, oh, maybe I do though, because are we really gonna get 100 gold? Let's see. Let's figure it out, because maybe we get a vault. There's more gold. There's just more gold. There's just always more gold, guys. Oh, wait. Blue memo. Is there not a blue memo? Does this not start today? Does it start tomorrow? No! I forgot what it actually says. Each blue room. Each blue room that you draft on the 8th rank. Oh, I'm such a dingus. We missed a memo, guys. I'm so sorry. Because we were offered, what, two different blue rooms that we could have taken, probably. Blue rooms. Okay, we know now. So I gotta draft a blue room here. Gotta draft a blue room. I think I will use the silver key. This could give me... Hold on, let's think about this. This could give me, like, the Chamber of Mirrors, which I might take. Would I take a Chamber of Mirrors? If it doesn't give me... Like, the Chamber of Mirrors would be one thing, but it could also just give me an Archives or a Weight Room. And I don't want those. It could give me a Great Hall. It could give me a Cloister. I want to draft a blue room here. So maybe I actually don't use the silver key. Because I feel like it's going to make my chances of a blue room less likely. And I don't want to take a prism key because I don't want to draft another shop. I suppose it could be an aquarium. And that would count. I feel like I'd just use a regular key, though. I could still use a prism key here if I want to do the kitchen. I could draft an aquarium there, maybe. Possibly. Let's just do a regular key here. Why does the office have to point the wrong way? I do have a compass. Hello? Hello? There's one of our antechamber levers. I'm going to redraw here because I want a blue room that points to the treasure. Boiler room. Okay. Boiler room. The boiler room is not, you know, super interesting for us today because we didn't end up doing the mechanical rooms thing. Although this is our 5th mechanical room. I say that now. There would only be one spot left for us to be able to draft a mechanical room. Or I should say 2 spots that the mechanarium would show up. These 2 rooms below the boiler room, the 2 spots left there on this 4th column. I guess we'll talk a little bit about the mechanarium. I did receive answers to my questions. I asked, first of all, does the mechanarium count itself? And the answer is yes. I also asked, do I need to open all 8 doors to properly revisit the mechanarium? And I got sort of the same answer from 2 different people. One answer was just a no. The other answer was a no with a stipulation. No, you don't have to open all 8 doors. But if you do open all 8 doors, you are guaranteed not to miss anything. I'm sort of paraphrasing what was said, but that's, I think, what the comment was saying, and that to me suggests that there might be a random element to the mechanarium. It sounds that, like, based on that, there might be different things behind different doors on different days. And so to be safe and find the things that you need to find, because I think the most that I've done so far has been 6. I could be wrong about that, but what I found in my previous drafts, day 20 and day 24, I think we drafted 6 doors in the mechanarium. All that being said, I'm gonna take the boiler room here, and let's just see if let's just get our memo first. Well, hold on. Let's think about this, because here's the thing. If we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, there was a 5th, wasn't there? 1, 2, 3. Oh, am I actually at 4? Why did I think that there were 5? Why did I think I had 5 mechanical rooms? Okay, maybe we're farther away than I thought then. Because I was thinking maybe we could still get to 8 rooms, 8 mechanical rooms today if I went back and made an electromagnet. Because there was the laboratory. The laboratory is one of them. Laboratory. The breaker box, the utility room, is another. They actually have 6 of them right here next to each other. We've already got the pump room. A utility closet and laboratory would give us 7 because we already have... What's the other one? Why is my brain struggling here? My brain is having a bit of a... it's in some sort of loop-de-loop. It's having trouble getting out of. It must have been the erosion earlier that threw me for a loop. We actually only have 4. What am I talking about? We would have 6 if we got a utility closet and a laboratory. Then, beyond that, or beyond those, there are actually no red mechanical rooms. I thought for maybe one of them was. But I also have there's the mechanarium, and then what's the last mechanical room? There are 8 mechanical rooms, are there not? Am I actually being silly? Is there really only 7? Because we do actually count the 8th door is the door that you open when you draft the thing, and so 7 is really the max. Is that what I think I might have learned this before and forgot it? Because there's so many things to remember in this game, and it takes me forever to get through my drafts, and so I only play this game once a week, and so I forget things. I think that's actually the case. There's only 7 mechanical rooms. There's only 7 mechanical rooms. I think, let's see, 32 steps. I go back to the workshop, and that leaves me with, and then I come back here to the boiler room. I'm going to be down to 22 steps. Now I have 35 coins. I could buy more steps in the kitchen. At the same time, it's pretty likely that we would get offered. Shit. How do I sequence this? I kind of need a dining room. I kind of need a dining room, guys. I kind of need a dining room. If I have a dining room, then my problems are solved. Like, what I want to do is I want to get like a laboratory and a utility closet, and then that gives me 6. And then I draft over here, I draft a mechanarium, and that's our 7th. And we take care of that business today. Okay, I'm overthinking this like usual. I was just thinking I needed to go back to the workshop to get a electromagnet to make my chances better of getting the security or mechanical rooms that I need up here. laboratory and a utility closet. I think I just need the boiler room. That's good enough. I think if we happen to get a utility closet, then cool. Then maybe we'll go get an electromagnet and try to get a mechanarium. We should be able to get a laboratory because of the buff from ducks. And I think I keep this pointed straight upward, and we try to draft a laboratory at that door. The door that also happens to have a treasure chest. Let's do it. Keep this simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just get a laboratory. All right. Now, the laboratory points in that direction. Now I think I don't... I'm going to get the treasure. Because why not? It only cost me a couple extra steps. Time to start digging. And if we get a bunch of coins, then we can maybe spin for 100 roulette. 100 gold roulette wheel is always fun. But now I just need to... Oh, we also get the kennel thing. Okay. Gems. Fine. No big deal. In order to maximize our chances at getting a utility closet, I think now we turn off... Well, you can't turn off the boiler room, but you can choose not to direct it to the next door that you draft. And I think that's what we will do. Because what I'd like to see here is a dining room. Just give me a few extra steps for the rest of the day. And now maybe I do use that silver key to try to get a dining room here, now that I'm on the wing. It's actually perfect. Let's do it. Can't use a prism key for blue rooms, right? I don't think it would work for blue rooms, would it? Because it's not lit up. I'll try it and see, though. Yeah, it doesn't work for blue rooms. I think we can do this here, though, and this maybe makes a dining room more likely. And I think I will spend some rerolls because we still have just 50, we have 52 stars. Let's spend a couple rerolls to try to get us that dining room. We already got a repeat gymnasium and East Wing Hall. Where's my blue crown? There's my dining room. All right, cool. We didn't have to spend forever. This actually procs our experiment as well, or whatever that's worth, I think. Right? Because this has... No! I forgot how it works with the dining room on the East Wing. There is no fireplace here today. Or because of this location, there is no fireplace. Dang it! Okay. Stupid experiment. Why do I have this? Fireplaces. Get out of here. Oh my god. Killing me. Would we also not get a fireplace if we had drafted a drawing room? Now I would like to see a utility closet. I don't know how many, there's our vault. I don't know how many spins I would take to try to get a utility closet here. I wouldn't mind seeing one. I don't think I need a vault at this point just to spin the casino. The casino wheel is cool, but I don't need to spin it today for 100. So I think we're also in the corner. We could get a conservatory. I'll redraw here. There's utility closet. We got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I counting correctly now? Yeah, 3 in the upper right hand side, 2 on the East Wing, and then the workshop. So now we can go make an electromagnet and maybe get a mechanarium that actually has 7 doors open. Holy shit. I honestly had thought we had opened all 7 doors on the mechanarium. That's what I thought we had done. And I guess I was just wrong, because when I went back to double check, the most I could find was 6. Okay, now do I actually need to change any of the settings in the utility closet? The dark room is already lit. We don't need to get out of the garage, and we don't need to change security door settings, because we have a key card already, so there's no reason to use steps to go in this direction. I could draft a dead end here by the dining room, and who knows, maybe we'll get a vault now. Oh, I forgot there were coins over here, apparently. Actually, I never even noticed them. It's not I didn't forget, I just didn't see them. We can afford to draft this room, though, because I can draft from the kitchen to get a mechanarium. Because I don't want to try to draft from a mechanarium yet, because now I have 58 steps, I can afford to go back to the workshop and make the electromagnet first. Wow, this is kind of working out in a way that I was not expecting. Amazing. I think I just settle for the walk-in closet. Although the classroom, I guess, would have an apple. But I don't really want to step into the classroom to get just the apple. But then, what am I stepping into the walk-in closet for? Like, I think I just take the walk-in closet. Maybe there's a cupcake. There's a cupcake! It's my favorite. I never eat cupcakes in real life. I don't have like a huge sweet tooth. Only every once in a while do I enjoy my, some Halo Top ice cream. But yeah, that, a cupcake for the road. Perfect. Anything else that we have failed to observe in the walk-in closet? I don't think so. Just our cool Mount Holly t-shirt. Yet another thing that we have gleaned from the gift shop. Now we go to the workshop. And there is more gold. Excuse me, there is more gold to pick up in the tomb, but I'm not going to come back to the casino just... Even if we were to get 100 gold somehow. I'm not going to make my way back to the casino. Let's just do the spin here. And be done with it. If we get our 2 allowance, cool. If we get 4 keys, cool. Whatever happens, happens. Still would love to get my free spins at some point. That would be fun. I also forgot we have a broken lever. That would have been maybe our last resort. Last ditch effort to potentially get us the last few coins to 400. Boy, this is a weird sight, going through the tunnels like this. That repeating, there's something a little bit creepy about that, actually. Seeing the repeating tunnels like that. Workshop. I had totally forgot. I'm glad I took the note about the electromagnet, because I honestly forgot its full effect. I really did not remember. Would not have remembered. We even have our... Oh no, I used my silver key. Oh, I wonder if I should have saved the silver key. Hopefully this wasn't a mistake, but I want to say that with the help of the electromagnet, we should be able to get that mechanarium to show up. But I will say, it probably would have been smarter to save... I kind of needed the steps, but it might have been smarter to save that silver key for, you know, making sure you get... Like, it would buff the chances of getting a mechanarium, wouldn't it? It would definitely help out those chances. Let's hope we can get it in spite of that. And then what are we going to find? If we are so fortunate here to get to... oh, we get the other steps from the remaining bananas as well. Let's just see if we get a mechanarium before we... Let's not go counting chickens. Don't count your chickens until you actually get your mechanarium. I could take the office and then our very last... Either one of these can possibly get a mechanarium, so... And I don't think we're interested... The doors that we're interested in are not doors that lead to more... Not the doors that you draft from. The doors, they're like the diagonal doors that have like an antechamber lever and an upgrade disc. And apparently there's something behind that final door that we've never opened. So I think I just take the office here. and that counts as essentially a reroll. Yeah. I'm not taking the office for any reason other than the fact that it just gets me to this last room where I could potentially draft a mechanarium. There's even a coupon book here. All right. After I've spent all the gold that I possibly can, I could have purchased the blue tents for the low price of $3.99. Okay, it's just doing its thing, right? I don't have to activate the electromagnet. It's just there. I totally did not even... Have we seen that animation before? I must have seen it at least once. But I forgot it did a cool little sound effect and everything. Yo, I think we did it, guys. I think we actually did it. I think this is 7 mechanarium doors. And I guess 8 because the 8th is the one we're entering in. I think this is it. I think this is it. I don't think we've ever done this before. Now I think, I don't know if these positions are randomized, but I think that this is the antechamber lever. And it is the antechamber lever. Okay. We might be able to go get our blue crown, by the way. We might be able to go get our blue crown again. I don't know if I have enough steps, though. But I think this is where we had the upgrade disc. I want to say the upgrade disc was in this position. If it was, it's been replaced by a trunk. So, okay, there's some dice. Cool. We still do have one more room to draft for what it's worth, but I don't know if that's a room that can help us. But I guess there is a moon pendant to buy in the showroom. So we do have reason to go back up to that corner of the estate. But there's, I don't think we've opened this door. I don't think we've opened that one. But I'm not sure, because maybe these are randomized in some fashion. Okay, there's another silver key here. LOL. All right, that makes sense. I think I remember seeing a silver key at one point, but this is the new door. This is it. What is here? Of course. How am I this dense? How am I this dense? I feel so stupid right now for not seeing this. How could I have not seen this? It says it in the description. 8 doors. 8 doors. The last door of 8. The last door of 8. The last door of 8. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put on our sigil hats. And also, do I have enough steps? Well, I have enough steps to get out to the inner sanctum. We have a sanctum key. I honestly feel I can't even, like, I normally joke around as like, oh, I'm being a dingus. I don't even feel like joking around right now, man, because I actually feel so, like, such an idiot. I feel actually like the biggest idiot in the world for not recognizing the fact that there's 8 doors in the mechanarium. There's 8 goddamn doors in the mechanarium. Of course, this was the most obvious room in the whole freaking world. Once you didn't have there wasn't anything there by the nuance sigil. It's just that kind of a game, guys. It's too massive. There's too many things to remember and too many things to remember. That's all there is. And also I have one of my perhaps my biggest character flaw, personality flaw, is that I am way too hard on myself. Maybe you guys know this by now, but I'm way too... I've gotten a lot better as I've gotten older. I've gotten so much better than I used to be at being nice to myself, but it's still an ongoing work in progress to just remind myself that you don't get down on yourself. You're only human. You're only human. And even when there's the most... Even when you've got the most obvious, oh my god, it feels so obvious in retrospect. What am I putting in the coat check? What am I putting in the coat check? Another lucky purse? I mean, do I put the lucky purse back in there? I don't know. I don't feel like I need coins now. I could put nothing in the coat check, just have all our items, and we buy when we go up to the antechamber. I'm thinking through a bunch of steps ahead, which these may not happen, but I'm thinking the, you know, if we do get this solve of the Morajai sigil, then maybe we can go solve the puzzle in room 46. But I might be getting ahead of myself. Let's just do one step at a time. With 40 steps, it's gonna be pushing it to make it even back to the... What room would I even be making it back to? The room 46. Just to even get back there is going to be pushing it. So maybe I shouldn't even worry about the coat check just yet. Let's just go and let's just try to do a sigil and see what happens. Try to do a sigil and not get too down on myself for not being able to figure, like, this game is just a tough game, you know? It maybe is the toughest puzzle game I've ever played. The puzzles themselves are tough, but also the way the game is structured. Being able, there's just so much information in the game. It's not like any other Mislike, because of how massive the game is and how it feels even more massive. The fact that the rooms are randomized and you're not always going to the exact same house every single day. You may not get a room that a room that is so crucial to your progress, you may not even be offered that room on any given day. And you certainly might not have your brain pointed toward or focused on that room when it needs to be. The last Sanctum key was in the Mechanarium. My game is also having some frames hiccups now because apparently it's hit that point of the show where we've been running for a bit too long. But, man. We at least have it. Our final Sanctum key has been found. Yo, I totally even forgot to check for blue memos in the... Oh my god. I forgot to check for blue memos in the goddamn boiler room. And also, I think the walk-in closet should have had one too, didn't it? I'm getting distracted here because once again, I'm like... my cat laser brain. It was the dining room. Should there not have been a blue memo in both the boiler room and the dining room? I didn't even really check. I might have just walked right past it, just like I walked past that X in the aquarium. So I apologize if we missed blue memos today that are super important, but I don't think we're gonna get to them with the steps that we've got. We have other. We got bigger sigils to fry. And if those don't get fried, my brain cells will in the process. Morajai. Okay, time to bring up notes. Sigil notes. Perhaps for the final time. Because we have locked in everything but Morajai. I feel pretty good about Morajai being white. And maybe we even have some clues that confirm this. What I'm not so sure about is what is Morajai's moat. We can try agricultural, but we do know that it's possible to have duplicate moats. So we should not be ruling out necessarily any of these others. But I could totally see an agricultural realm that exports its agriculture via shipping routes. And so I had listed the 8 rays as potentially the... What do the rays stand for again? Hold on, I need to get into sigil mode here. What are rays again? It's the weather, right? No, it's the type of transportation. So I had put naval capabilities, 8 rays. That's what makes sense for Morajai given the stamp. We got a stamp. Go to our library here. And our stamp collection. But I wish I could zoom in on it here more than I could go to my... Actually, I can go to my screenshots. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. I do have my screenshots over here. So I can go to here. This is a slightly higher res version. But we've got a ship. And then we have... what? Little swirling lines that suggested maybe windy weather. I think that's the first thing I want to try. Is just let's just see if 8 rays. It's already given us 8 rays for what it's worth. But let's see if windy weather combined with agricultural moat and then a white border. Let's see if that works. Now, what is an agricultural moat? Hold on. Jumping the gun here. I might have already been on the right moat. Agricultural. Was I on the right moat? No, I went to it, actually. This is agricultural. If that's the right moat. Windy weather, I think, is the wavy lines, or is it the... Oh, it's actually the long arched or bent curved lines. The wavy lines are heat. Let's try windy. If this changes the... There we go. Zappies. Wavies. Snowies. Windies. We don't change the number of rays. We just change the border to those... the same dots. Or the dots that are all the same. As opposed to the dots that are both large and small. Because those are the black dots. These are the black dots. We want the white dots. Do we have a winner? No. We do not. Is it the moat that's wrong? The thing is, what else fits? If it's not agricultural, I feel like it could very easily be a different weather. You know? It could just be normal weather. Oh, we did have windy... Oh, this is right. We actually had windy weather for nuance. Is it possible that the weather does not repeat? So far, with all the other 7, we've not had repeat weather. So maybe it's normal weather for Morajai. Got to change my border back, unfortunately, because of this. Why did they have to set this up like this? Could that possibly be true? Boom. Easy game. Ah. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty dang good, I gotta say. 8 sigils. I'm a little surprised. Is there not supposed to be a trophy for this? This is not a trophy. This is a mango? Question mark? Yeah, it certainly looks like they are an agricultural land. And I feel like this must have been what we saw on the bordering artwork of the big geography chart in the classroom, grade 4. We saw a little bit of a hint of this, right? The baskets. And I think I did clue into this, that one of these realms had to be agricultural. I'm not sure if I clued in how long it took me to clue into that it had to be Morajai, but I think that was just a process of elimination. Let's take our screenshots. Those lovely, man, that feels so good. Progress. Another cool looking tower slash house. What is this though? Oh, it's the Morajai sigil that's on there. This feels like some sort of box that should open. But it's not a Morajai box, or at least not the ones we're accustomed to. And our last postcard. Our last postcard. I don't think there is a date. There's not been a date on any of these postcards. This is just a number that goes with the Morajai postal stamp. But I don't think we have any direct dates on these postcards. We just have to figure out from the language, what's written on the postcard, the order in which these realms were traveled. After a short sea voyage, we arrived on the main island of Morajai last night in good spirits. Okay, that could be a clue there. A short sea voyage probably means that they came from a realm on the same continent. That's my first guess. It feels like it would be a much longer sea voyage to come from Fen Ares to Morajai via sea. So a short sea voyage, and it also means that Morajai was not the first place. It was not their first stop. The people here are belligerent in their politeness, and after spending a full day among the Gyrail, the hell? I am just as afraid of eating another dish as I am of rejecting their offers. That must be just the name of the Morajai inhabitants. I may try to sneak away tomorrow and spend some time alone with my books, as I've noticed that each realm I have visited has one thing in common. They each have been short on solitude. All right, so I can relate to Herbert in enjoying solitude and not necessarily enjoying travel all the time because it does not afford one much solitude. Okay, can we put these all together now? Can we put them all together? Can we also put together our last Morajai box and put us up over 80 allowance? Let's read. Forgot about the important part here. Oh, this is a long one. Morajai box, fun for the family. Morajai boxes were a popular fad in the early 30s among both the peerage and common crowds. These small mechanical puzzle boxes originated on the island Morajai as a children's game, but quickly gained popularity among seafarers who valued the compact boxes as both lockbox and entertainment on long voyages. Over time, the boxes spread from port to port and eventually found their way into the homes and hearts of every realm. A traditional Morajai box is distinguished by a lid featuring a 3x3 grid of white and gray tiles. Each white tile can be pressed like a button, which will change the color of that tile and the surrounding squares. The goal of each box is to find a way to make all 4 corner tiles into white squares. Regional variations introduced new colors and mechanics, offering greater challenges and local flavor. While the fad may have ended, Morajai boxes still make for a memorable gift for both collectors and puzzle enthusiasts. I feel like this is the same. Is this not the same note that we had in the master bedroom? Didn't we get this same exact note there? It is. I was going to say, I feel like we got the original Morajai box explanation in the master bedroom. It's interesting that that one's there in the master bedroom of all places. But, okay. So, the white squares change the colors around them, but only if they're gray. The yellow ones, I feel like yellow bubbles up, correct? What does pink do, though? I forgot what pink does. Pink rotates everything. Okay, got it. Okay, I would like to think this is not going to be too difficult. Because yellow, since yellow bubbles up, you would think that you could actually just... like maybe you could just do this. Something like this. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling that one wasn't going to be too bad. Just needed to be... not a dingus. Which I'm still feeling like for forgetting that the Mechanarium has 8 doors. How? Oh. There it is. I was wondering where our sigil trophy was. Trophy of sigils. For unlocking all 8 realm sigils. Yo, that's a sweet one. And they all have their own color, don't they? They all have their own color. Yeah. I think Nuance is green there. It's a very dark green. But Moragi... Kararika is like kind of a burnt orange. But wow. So cool. I'm gonna screenshot that as well. Trophy of sigils. Trophy number 9. And the last of our allowance tokens has been collected. So now we have all of the notes. I want to go to room 46. And our antechamber door on the left is open, correct? So we can get through the pool. I think that's where we go. We just go straight there. But maybe we stop at the coat check first because I might not have enough steps. So let's head back. Since we have no foundation elevator to make this a little bit easier on our step count, we might stop at... we might have to settle for stopping at the coat check. If we want to coat check anything, I don't really need to coat check the electromagnet now that the Mechanarium has been dealt with. We don't really need a lucky coin purse now that we've bought blue tents. If anything, I'd want to take the crown and go put it back in the coat check, but I'm not gonna be able to make it all the way across the house, I don't think. So maybe I just settle for, you know, we'll leave the coat check empty for once, because I can't think of any of these that are like a detector shovel is fine, but I kind of want to just leave the luck of the draw with our moon pendant and see where we start our day 46. Oh, and I just realized day 46 is coming up. Huh. Interesting. I think we'll probably try to get a shrine on day 46. But what I'm not sure about is will I be brave enough to open some cursed coffers? I think I might. Because we're getting to a point where what else are we going to do? What else are we going to... The game is kind of sort of telling us probably you need to open some cursed coffers. Yeah, I'm not gonna put anything in the coat check. Unless we can somehow make it back and put the crown in there. Let's see. We'll find out. Might just have enough. But also, I might want to stop in a break room to end my day. We'll see how things go. But we gotta at least get our brain into... we're gonna try and solve this puzzle. Because who knows what happens when we solve this puzzle. I think I'll buy a moon pendant. Although I don't have to yet. Could 20 gold come in handy with whatever we unlock from solving this puzzle in room 46? Maybe, but I'm gonna just buy the moon pendant. Because it could, I feel like the more likely thing, if whatever happens with this puzzle, if it does, if we do get like the mist fireplace that that opens up for us, it could lead us. It could lead us way underground somewhere, and I might not even have enough steps to get where I'm supposed to go. So we'll find out. There's the crown again. we did make it back to our crown. God damn this note though. This is again my, I don't even know if this is laser focus brain, but it certainly is assumption brain. I see the 8 doors here, and that's where the last door of 8. Maybe they do this on purpose. They maybe do this just to get you thinking, oh, they're talking about the last door of the 8 sanctum key doors. Assumptions, man. Assumptions. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Let's go through this. Get all those notes together here. Actually, oh yeah, okay. So let me think the best way to do this. Well, I've got them all within their own. Oh no, it's not there. It's over on this section. I'll bring these up here. Okay, so we've got Arinda, Fen, Araja, Vera, Arch, Ares, Kararka, Nuance, and the latest one here is Morajai, but we'll have that in our screenshots, right? There we go. Okay. We know there's a short sea voyage involved here. And that's why it seemed to me... Well, I'm also gonna have to pull up my my geography lessons. We're gonna need multiple things to help us out here. Right. Morajai, Vera, Kararka. And then wait. No, okay, yes, this is the same screenshot. And then over on the other one, you've got Arinda / Fen Ares, Arch Ares, Araja, and Nuance. So this one here has 5 realms, the Et Sphere, and then in the Or Sphere you have Moraven. Let me get a hydrate. This is very exciting. Very, 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 very exciting. But also I gotta get my head screwed on straight. Let's go through these again. Arinda. 8 realms in 8 months. The objective was simple enough, but in what order, what route, and where to start? Questions like these are the ones I tend to ignore, as planning has never been my strong suit. In the true spirit of adventure, I have departed, forsaking both map and plan, and as it happens, the road has taken me south. It feels like maybe Arinda was number 1. He's departed, as in starting his trip. That's what it feels like. It seems fitting to begin the journey, he says it even in the next sentence, by visiting a fragment of the old kingdom, a landmark as black in realm as it is in name, and a story I feel closely connected to. So Arinda is number 1. Fen, I'm actually writing this last postcard. This was the last. It sort of makes sense. He starts at home and ends at home, except they're sort of 2 different places. Remind Anne to replace the books I lost. So this is number 8, I think. Does it give us a clue as to... Air travel is much better than sea travel. As I look back, one truth shines brighter than the others. I'm just wondering if this gives us a clue as to where he came from just prior to Fen Ares. Tempted to save the postmaster a trip. I'm not sure it does. It doesn't necessarily mean that he came from Nuance. It's just that at some point he used air travel, probably getting to Nuance or from Nuance, and he preferred it to the boat rides. I think for now, all we can safely say is that 1 and 8 belong here. Araja. I was a little disappointed that there has not been a drop of rain during my time here. I suppose the anecdotes will have to do without that flavorful setting. However, even without the rain, the puddles and ponds make this place feel different than home. Lorja Yenna, Ajlor Lune. I kind of forgot about this little bit. Jeariena. Lorja. Lorja. Ja is small, correct? Small name, Yena. Large name, Lune. What does that mean? Okay, I still am not anxious to get into Eurasian decoding. I don't think this actually does give us a clue, though, as to where Eurasia falls in the overall order. What about Vera? And maybe we can have, maybe we'll have like an overall note here, or we'll start to piece together this ordering. Or we can actually just reorder these. We can just reorder these as they are. We'll just reorder the tabs. And I'll add a new tab for Morajai. Does it have a white square? It does. Perfect. So we know that Fen comes last. Okay, I see. Got it. So Morajai. We don't know anything yet other than Arinda and Fen. And Araja doesn't really help us. So we'll put this as... We'll put a question mark here. To say we don't know which place it goes, what order it goes. Vera. Despite my prejudice against Mother Nature, I own that I have deeply loved my time here at Vera. Memories of a youthful trip. I find less and less occasion. One thing I do remember vividly. Each visitor of Vera upon arriving is lent a hard-shell friend. I am still under the spell of island life, even if the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. That suggests that Vera comes directly after Morajai. So let's take that as after Morajai, and maybe I'll add a question mark to... I'll add a question mark to the ones that we're not sure about yet. Before we put them in a certain place. So let's say Vera is after Morajai. Arch Aries. We arrived here after a few days of sailing. And it made me realize how much more convenient it would have been in the old days when the railway tracks extended all the way north. That kind of makes me think that Arch Aries comes after Eraja. Because that would be the only place that they would have come from. Well, maybe not the only place. He could have come from Arinda Aries, right? A few days of sailing. If we look at our coastal... Wait a second. Is Arch Aries actually connected? I guess it could be connected by train if there was a bridge. But I see a small, like... It's not a river. It's too big to be a river. But I don't know what the term is. Like an inlet or something. A delta. Whatever the term is for this body of water that kind of looks like it runs all the way through from one side to the other between Arch Aries and Arinda. There must be a bridge to where the trains would have gone across previously. And maybe that's why they needed the boat ride. So maybe he's coming from Arinda. But he could also be... Well, he says it's a short boat ride. Doesn't he? After... No, it was a few days of sailing. It was a few days. I think Arch Aries comes after Eraja. But we might still kind of not like 100% confirmed on that. But that feels like it would take him a lot less than a few days of sailing to get from... And he also said that he started south, didn't he? From Arinda, the road has taken him south. So it seems more likely that he would go to Eraja after Arinda, doesn't it? Like if I were planning a trip, It would make so much more sense if I start south. I might as well keep going south and get to Araja. And then from Araja, I can take a boat up to Arch Ares. Because otherwise, we can't take the train anymore because it doesn't exist. The train tracks don't. I think maybe that makes sense. If we put number 2 in Araja. Now, here's the thing. What if he was coming from Nuance? Is this Nuance? What if he was taking a short ride from Nuance up to Arch Ares? So there is still some question here about Arch Ares, I think. But maybe Araja we could say is after Arinda. Let's look at Nuance and see what Nuance says. By far my favorite realm, but I've always had a penchant for technology. The soot-filled streets, soaring skyscrapers here are just as stirring to me as the mountains of Kararika or the beaches of Morajai. We did read this before. It wasn't last time. I think it was a couple episodes ago. But this to me made it feel like it was going to be after Morajai. Did we say that Vera is going to be right after Morajai? I think we did, right? Even if the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. Maybe it doesn't have to be immediately after, but it sure feels like it. Speaking of home, as I look across the Eastern Sea, I can almost see its shores. It feels like this comes after Kararika and after Morajai. What about Kararika? What did it say? There have been fewer and fewer opportunities the further we travel up into the mountains to attend to my correspondence, and I find myself regretting having brought so many books, as this is the first realm I have visited without porters. Here, every person is expected to carry their own belongings, and if you can't, you throw away that which is expendable. It's looking like I'll bring back less souvenirs than I had planned. I never expected to appreciate the cold, but the frigid weather here is a welcome relief coming from the sweltering shores of Vera. Okay, so Vera was right before Kararika. If you came from Vera to go to Kararika, you're in the same hemisphere. Would you have then gone from Kararika to Morajai? Probably, right? But we said that Vera is after Morajai. Okay, so Kararika comes after Vera, and Vera comes after Morajai. Let's look at the Morajai note once again. Let's look at Morajai here. After a short sea voyage. After a short sea voyage. So I think that goes in line with what I was thinking. Well, although, hold on. A short sea voyage. A short sea voyage could mean that he was coming from Arch Ares, maybe. Maybe Arch Ares is actually closer. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Man, I kind of want to see a globe now. Oh, here we go. Oh, it could be Nuance. What if the short sea voyage is from Nuance to Morajai? Nuance didn't really give us much help, did it? By far my favorite realm I have visited during this trip. That doesn't really tell us much. And also, the soot-filled streets and soaring skyscrapers here are just as stirring to me as the mountains of Kararika or the beaches of Morajai. The fact that Morajai mentions a short trip, a short sea voyage, that has to be important. And it feels like you would not have come from Arch Ares or anywhere on the main continent. It would either have had to be the most likely culprits could be Kararika. But Kararika we're pretty certain that Vera comes after Morajai, even if the weather here is much more severe than it was on Morajai. So Vera has to be after Morajai. I think we also know, similarly, Kararika has to be after Vera. Which means neither one of these could have been... Neither of them could have preceded Morajai. So doesn't that leave Nuance as the only place that we could have made a short sea voyage? I think so. I think that's what makes sense. Now, does that mean that Kararika leads back to Fen? I'm not sure about that. Because the thing is... Nuance doesn't really tell us where we came from, I don't think. And Arch Ares sort of does. It says we arrived here after a few days of sailing. After a few days of sailing. Does that mean we came up from Araja? Maybe we should try this. Arinda, Araja, Arch Ares, Nuance, Morajai, Vera, Kararika, Fen. That seems like a reasonable ordering based on what we know, but it doesn't seem like it's definitive. Like, I feel like there could be some more details in these notes that I'm not seeing. But maybe we start with this. So if 3 is Arch Ares, Nuance is 4, Morajai 5, Vera 6, and Kararika 7? Nothing happens. Nothing happens, and so it's probably wrong. It's probably not right. Because whenever we do things right in this game, it tells us loud and clear. Eight realms in 8 months. It's got to be tied to this, right? Because he mentions it's like on the first postcard, 8 realms in 8 months. Clearly, the game is tying these postcards to this puzzle in room 46. But I just haven't got the right order yet. Is it true that Araja... I feel pretty confident that Arinda is number 1. He says here, I have departed, forsaking both map and plan, in the true spirit of adventure. That feels like, okay, we're starting out YOLO. Let's go for it. But this is where we're starting. Yeah, and he says, begin the journey. So number 1 is Arinda. It's Araja that I'm taking a bit of a leap to say is number 2. Is there any other clue that we can take here? I don't think there's a date on any of these stamps or postmarks. Am I overlooking that? Is there actually a date and I don't realize it? I don't think so. Like, some of them have these longer numbers that maybe theoretically could be a date, except I don't see a year that makes sense. I see 1401, I see 1300. Herbert ain't that old. But even if those were dates, there's no similar corresponding numbers on the some of the other postcards. The anecdotes I make on this trip will have to do without the flavorful setting. That dot the countryside make this place feel different than home. It sure feels like, just logically from where you would go next if you were going south, that this would have to be number 2. And he also makes the reference that this place feels different from home. So it's like he's kind of just started. This is his second stop. It's Arch Aries and Nuance that could be... Like, maybe I've got these switched. This would actually be a pretty easy change. To go from Nuance. Nuance could very easily be number 3, couldn't it? But he also says, when he's in Nuance, he says, by far my favorite realm I have visited during this trip. Would you really say that about your 3rd stop? Like, what if Nuance is actually much farther down? What if we had this note about the short sea voyage? Maybe we made that short sea voyage actually from Arch Aries. Maybe the Arch Aries sea voyage is not as long as I was thinking. That might be our big incorrect assumption here, is thinking that Nuance, it actually does feel more like Nuance, which is what I originally suspected. It feels like Nuance would make a lot more sense coming after both Kararka and Morajai. The verbiage, the language in this postcard, he actually mentions the mountains of Kararka and the beaches of Morajai. Sure sounds like those should have come first or before, previous. And he says, by far, you'd certainly would write that much more on a 7th stop than you would your 3rd. That's got to be it, right? Maybe that's the only change we have to make. I think that might be it. This ordering actually makes total sense. Let's see if that works. So number 3 stays Arch Aries, but now number 4 becomes... Oh, I can just move these along down the line, can't I? I can just go like this. And like this. Yes! Yes! Shazam. There was a very brief delay, just like with the sigil pedestals, where I didn't know if it actually worked. And then it moved. There was no sound or anything. I was expecting some new music to kick in or something. But it worked. It worked. A deed? Yo, what the hell? A deed. Certified copy. Here's our new music. Certified copy. Property deed. Lord Arthur Clementine to Lady Oravai of Trinsdale. A new Finn Clark, Stationers, Reddington, Fanaries. Satisfied of record. Whoa, the deed to the estate, I presume. And there's also like a watermarked D. I think it just spells deed. Deed. Okay, all right. And then X. X marks the spot. I'm not missing this X. This does feel like a piece of paper where there could be some stuff hidden via, or readable only via magnifying glass. Trying to spot if any of those do exist. But also, there is a next page. Oh my god, this is so exciting. This game is the best. Dude, I can't... Our goal was to get 400 gold, and we did that. And I didn't even read the dang blue memos in the blue rooms that I drafted on rank 8. But then we just happened to back into a mechanarium with all 8 doors open. Screenshot. Next page. I'm always like, the first instinct that I have is to just quickly, like, almost subconsciously surveying the entire thing that I'm looking at to try to, like, what pops out to me? The first thing I saw was, oh, the signature down at the bottom looks like something we should look at with the magnifying glass. Is it Arthur Clementine? Yeah, Lord Arthur Clementine. Know all men by these presents. That Lord Arthur, I think this is like old speak for like, everybody who's here who sees this, everybody here knows that Lord Arthur Clementine, everybody who's watching this right now, the witnesses in the room, that Lord Arthur Clementine, rightful owner of the land that rests in the northern range of the Reddington Mountains, doth grant and convey to the bearer of this document, Lady Oravai of Trinsdale, the land, forest, and waters of the sheer cliffs that rest in the northern shadow of the Holly Leaf Mountain. with all the rights, privileges, and appurtenances thereunto belonging. What the hell does that mean? Boundaries. The property of Mount Holly consists of dense woods flanked by cliff walls, irrigated by mountain spring streams, and punctuated by several runoff waterfalls. This area is sheltered between the summit's northern slope and saddle, spanning across 80-odd acres of land. The property is situated southwest of Reddington, bound in the south by steep crags, and abutting the east by the high road to Tanner Fork. The property is situated southwest of Reddington, 80-odd acres of land. Sometimes my mind starts drifting a little bit, and I have to admit that in that moment of like autopiloting the reading, I was drifting back into, how did I not see that the Mechanarium, had 8 doors in it, man? Okay, Tanner Fork, Reddington, 80-odd acres. Maybe it was the fact that there's an 8 here. Why does it say 80-odd acres in bold? Is that a clue? Is that somehow a clue? 80-odd. I also just remember the note we were reading earlier in the tomb looked like it had odd in the words. Covenants. I, Lord Arthur Clementine, covenant, promise and agree with Lady Orovai, her heirs and assigns, that I am lawfully seized and possessed of the said premises, that the same are free and clear of all encumbrances, that I have good right to sell and convey the same to the said Lady Orovai, her heirs and assigns, and that I will warrant and defend the same against all lawful claims and demands whatsoever. In hand and seal I make my mark in the grand year of Fenaries 1912. Wow. Screenshot. Okay. This is the first I feel like we've heard of Arthur Clementine. I don't think I've heard or read a peep of this dude. But he's the one who used to have the manor. He used to have the estate. The whole land, all 80-odd acres. Mount Holly. And then it was passed on to Lady Orovai. Huh. Now, how does that tie in with the royal family? How does that all tie in? This is also where Herbert left his will. Yo. Oh my god, and there's some redactions here? What? Oh. They're gallery redactions. Mwahahaha, laughs menacingly, having already pieced together the gallery. Okay, but that's interesting though that he does give you some gallery clues. In his last will and testament, which didn't we read or hear part of this at the opening of the game? I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I declare that I am not and have never been married and have no children. Okay, I feel like this part's new. So there's some other details here that are being added in. First, I direct that all my debts and outstanding expenses be paid as soon after my decease as possible. Secondly, I direct all the servants and staff in my employ at the time of my death shall be granted indefinite leave to be paid out of the reserves of my estate set aside for such occasion, until such a time as a new master of Mount Holly bids their return. In the event that the aforesaid reserves for this purpose are depleted before a new master of the estate is found, I had wondered about what was going to happen when the money runs out. How indefinite is this leave? I direct my executor to make provisions for this future employment, and to do so in a manner that is just and equitable to all parties involved. Is Simon the executor, or is this Anne Babbage? I hope that's Anne Babbage, because we sure as hell haven't been taking care of that. Thirdly, to my faithful valet, Hartley Ruota, I hereby gift to him the lake house in Trinsdale as a small measure of gratitude for his many years of unwavering loyalty and devoted service. I direct that my executor take such steps as are necessary to transfer ownership of the said lake house to Hartley Ruota, and should use all reasonable efforts to persuade him to accept the same. He was like, oh, I don't deserve that. Hartley's a nice guy. He wasn't trying to take advantage of the Baron. Furthermore, to my late cousin Tillin's 2 children, Courtney Farron and Rygard Farron, who have sometimes been impulsive and hasty in their actions, I grant to each a cuckoo clock set eternally on the sacred hour, for only time will tell when they are ready to slow down enough to appreciate the gifts bestowed upon them with the patience and wisdom that comes with maturity. Courtney, the only name there that we're familiar with, her letter in the shelter safe. Give him a cuckoo clock. They're probably gonna be like, what? We got a cuckoo clock? What the hell? Interesting. There might be some, I'm thinking now that maybe there's some secret, because these are the cuckoo clocks up here, aren't they? Aren't these the dang cuckoo clocks? Apparently they haven't been executed over to the children, or the nephew and niece. My late cousin's 2 children. Oh, my late cousin. Oh. Rest in peace, Tillin. This would make, if it's his cousin. Oh, these are actually his second cousins, aren't they? The children of your cousin are your second cousin. Do I have that right? Anyway, in the case that Lionel Epson should return from his travels abroad, or in the event that any of his heirs should present themselves, I bequeath to him or them, as the case may be, the diary and its related key, which formerly belonged to his sister, Clara Epson, which I have kept in her room and beside her grave, respectively and respectfully. Okay. Is there any new information there? We've read the diary. Oops. Don't say anything. Don't tell Lord Epson. In addition, it is my fervent desire that the gallery, along with all, let me make sure I think I did screenshot these. Let me screenshot them as I go along. In addition, it is my fervent desire that the gallery, along with all the artwork contained within, be bestowed upon the Reddington Museum of Art, including the sculptures, exhibits, and the entire collection of drawings by Christopher Manson, comprised of 4 pieces entitled, we now know the names, Think, Ponder, Realize, and Ruminate. Is Christopher Manson actually a person? These, feel free to answer that, actually. Curious to know if that's a bit of trivia. This generous donation shall be made 1 year hence, following the date of my earthly departure, when it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. Could you actually play the game so long? Could you actually play 1 year into this game and then never be able to draft the gallery after that? 1 year's worth of drafts, oh my god. Moreover, to the Grand Cathedral of Araja, I bequeath 8 stone statues, sculpted in the likeness of the 8 Ajiran angels, Arinda, Lydia, Rinna, Joya, Dauja, Vea, Mila, and Draxus. These sculpted figures have been in the Sinclair tomb for multiple generations, and even though there has been much debate over their natural numeric order, there's been a debate on this, huh? They have nevertheless remained steadfast in their safeguarding of our family's secrets. I trust they will continue to provide the Cathedral of Araja the same level of stewardship. The angels are flying away to the cathedral. The Grand Cathedral. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all the rest, residue, and remainder of my estate, and of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly, as a token of the cordial and affectionate friendship for which nearly a half-century his grandmother, Clara Epson, has shown me. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate of Mount Holly. This room, among other things of value, holds the physical deed to the entire estate as well as many other personal effects and policies of insurance. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I'm confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse, and the above clauses on this page, and provisions pertaining to that clause, shall be considered null and void, and the rest of my estate shall be disposed of, and gifted to the Arindian Heritage Foundation, under condition that the house be immediately winnowed and sealed with explicit instructions and allowances that the site shall not be reopened until, black flags are once again flying over Oris, or 110 years have passed since my death, whichever day shall come first. What? What in the world? 110 years. What number? Why does that number have significance? Why such a specific, large amount of time? So he's donating it away if we don't get it. And then he doesn't want it. He wants the house to just be shut down forever, or at least until black flags are flying once the Fen Ares government has been overthrown. This is so cool. It also is so interesting how supposedly Herbert was able to maintain a public image of loyalty to the current government. Because that's what our father, Simon's father, I think in his letter to Herbert was kind of mad that Herbert didn't make more of a stand or be more public about the disappearance of Mary. Maybe I need to review that letter, but I just, it's stuck in my mind, the fact that our father was upset that Herbert wasn't more pro Arinda, it seemed, I think. Last page. As one final gift to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, regardless of whether he finds room 46 or not, I leave and bequeath to him the original manuscripts of his mother's works that were produced here under the roof of her childhood home. These preliminary draft copies include Red Prince, which she wrote while visiting the estate during the brightest of her days, and A New Clue, which she penned here during the darkest. I hope that in due time and in the natural order of things, you will come to be content, as I have, with what little of herself she left us. The natural order of things is in bold. Mental note. Are those words more important than they are, or at least that they seem at first? In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair. Yo. Wow. Now, I'm not sure that we got anything. The gallery hint is a pretty notable bit of guidance when it comes to puzzle solving on the estate, but I'm not sure if there's anything else that this will and testament helps us figure out. There are several names that are mentioned here, and there are quite a few things that are kind of in larger font and maybe bold as well. The Grand Cathedral of Araja, Reddington Museum of Art. Maybe those are there just for emphasis in terms of, hey, this is what I would emphasize if I were actually writing a will. I would want to make sure these stand out. But of course, when you're playing blueprints, you got to take note of the fact that, hey, Red Prince and A New Clue are both italicized. Do italicized words in this document mean anything on this page? Oh, there's more here. When it will be removed from Mount Holly's draft pool. There are quite a few italicized words, I guess. The natural order of things. Why is that in bold? There might be some cryptic, there could be a cryptic nature to this, but I'm not initially seeing, I'm not having an aha moment of, I know what to do now in some other part of the house. Like, I'm not exactly sure what the deed does for us. Does the deed do anything for us? Or does it give us any information that makes sense? The 80-odd acres. That stands out to me. But it could make total... It stands out to me as like it could matter for some puzzle. We know that we have 6 add 6 that we've got to do at some point. Does 80 factor into that math? Cool. Oh, it just keeps cycling through if I'm clicking with the mouse. We did not get the fireplace to open up. We did get a cool discovery, though. I wonder if that is everything that there is to do in room 46. I wonder if there's anything left for us. Have we now found it all? Don't answer that. Don't answer that for sure. The musical note here on our emblem. You obviously have Mount Holly with the Sinclair emblem. And you have the swan and the spades with the Epson emblem. And then you have... you have those two combined with the Marigold emblem. Ah! The notes must be from our father. That's what... that must be the Jones part of the equation. From our mother's side, you bring in the previously combined elements. Hadn't noticed that little detail before. All right. We got to figure out how to wrap this up here. 17 steps. What can I do? I probably have only just enough steps to either put something in the coat check or call it a day in the break room. We did buy our moon pendant, and I think I already made up my mind that I'm not checking anything in the coat check. We're just going to leave it up to chance to see what we get. We're going to get a star back from the Morning Star. We'll start the day at 50, and then we'll see what we end up with. I don't think there's any other duties that we've already done far more than I was expecting that we would. We got our hands. I wish... One thing I could do is I could check the storeroom to see if somehow there was a note there. Or no, that's right. We drafted this before getting the blue tents. So would I have the steps to check if I wanted to? If I want to end up in the break room at the end of the day, let's see, 17 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I do have enough just to check in the storeroom. I don't have enough to go back to the boiler room and the dining room, unfortunately. So we can do that one little bit of business here before we head back and call it a day in our break room. Holy crap, guys. The stupid mechanarium. The stupid mechanarium. Okay, this is not the blue memo. I don't think that the blue tents is referring to. I think it probably only applies to blue rooms that you have drafted after having obtained blue tents. So I'm sad that we didn't get to check out the ones that we did get today in the boiler room or the dining room, but that will be... I'm hoping that whatever information was there will be obtainable on future days. We'll give one... Wait a minute. Yo. Do the doggos actually get let out? This dog is gone. Is this part of the effect of when you draft the kennel and then you dig in other sites in the house? Do you let out some of the dogs? Some of them are still here. But the doggo that we could give pets to is gone. What? That's a weird detail I hadn't seen before. All right, there we go. Maybe Aunt Babbage just sneaks in without me realizing it and takes the dogs for a walk. Holy crap. That's where we're going to wrap up this installment of Blueprints. If you enjoyed the episode, guys, consider doing the YouTube thing and hitting those buttons down below. Holy crap. Holy crap. What can I say? It just feels like every draft with Blueprints, you're just going to end up doing something that you totally didn't expect. Just be ready, man, to hold on to your butts. Because it's never going to be a dull ride. Oh, the crown. We could have put the crown back in the coat check. I can't do it now. That's okay. That's all right. I'd rather get a security key card, I think, for tomorrow. Especially the crown could be kind of buggy. So we will have blue tents tomorrow to look forward to. And we will try, maybe I will even use our Banner of the King to buff the chances that we get blueprints here on day 46 of Blueprints coming up. But the tomb was super good for us. Let's go ahead and call it a day. Let's wrap things up here. I'm always a little bit long-winded on these endings, but holy crap. The 8th Sanctum key. And we got our 8th sigil. We got the sigil trophy. I forgot to draft the last room in the secret passage. It's fine. We got the last Sanctum key, and then we solved the puzzle. The 8 realms in 8 months. We cracked the code. And we got to read the last will and testament of Herbert Sinclair. That feels like a big moment. That certainly feels like a pretty big moment. It's cool. It's cool. I feel proud of that one. Good accomplishment. And we're going to see what happens on day 46 when we try to remove some more crates from our tunnel and maybe open a cursed coffers. Maybe we'll try to get some dice or some stars from our inkwell to go and re-roll and actually pick up a shrine and open a cursed coffers. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared, but it could be a fun, even if it like just only puts some sort of a hamstring on our draft, that could be fun. Just to have a challenge that you're living with and actually trying to get to room 46 in cursed mode for once. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know if it's actually going to give us progress in the overall game, but there's really only one way to find out. Tune in on day 46. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.